What's up, everybody? Welcome to March Mascot Madness number 3. This is part number 1 of 8. Something to get adjusted here. I feel like I'm sitting tall. Nah, it's fine, I'm sure. I'm sure it's fine. What's up, everybody? Welcome on into the stream. My name is Sean. This is twitch.tv/SeanSaurusRex. Today, we are kicking off March Mascot Madness 3. This is the third year in a row I've done it. It's the 5th overall tournament, because I do these in September as well. And we have 8 games of action for you today. Each game should take about 30 minutes, so strap in, sit back for the next 4 hours. You don't really have to strap in. You're probably at your house. You can just sit on your couch normally. You don't need any sort of seat belt or anything. You could go over to the site that's right below me, challenge.com/MMM2021, and to fill out a bracket. And we have 5 entries. No, that's incorrect. Hit F5. We have 6 entries this time around, which is fantastic. So thank you to each and every one of you who filled out a bracket. I'll leave it open for a little bit. So if you're in the chat and you're going to fill out a bracket real quick, that's fine. But once we hit halftime of this game right here, it'll be done. I'll close it and we'll move on. Like I said, we have 8 games of action today. We have this list of games that's going to happen right above me. We'll do the first 4. I'll take a short break. We'll do the second 4. It'll be, like I said, about 4 hours. It's a really great time. My voice is going to be totally and completely screwed by the end of it. Yeah, I feel like I need to bump my camera. That looks a little better. A little more clearance on that. Might have been too much. It doesn't matter. Stop focusing on it. We need to watch some basketball. I have my notebook. I have my pen. So that I can keep track of which games are good and which games are bad for the 5 best. That's more of a personal thing for me. I say it every single time. I'm like, I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to do it better next time. And then I inevitably don't. But this time, I'm actually going to make sure that I do. So, let's jump on in. We'll jump on into the action here. Cougars taking on the Huskies. It is the first game of every tournament. Washington State has never won. They are 0-4. Washington has won, obviously, all 4 times, but they rarely make it past the second round. I think the furthest they've made is like maybe the Sweet 16, maybe the Elite 8, but they don't usually typically make it very far. In the settings, we are going to bump it up to All-American. We're going to play 10-minute halves. We're going to work with the baseline mid-camera, and we will be off to Pullman, Washington for our first game of the day. There is no audio commentary. There's no Reese Davis or Brad Nessler or whoever it is with Dickie V. It's me, all day, all the time. Get hyped. I hope you're ready for my voice for 4 hours. So welcome on in. Here it is, game number 257 of the tournament. Of all of them, I think it was 256 through 4, 257. We have player names this time around. Hopefully these are the same throughout the tournament, but we'll see. I tried to load it and fix it. Maybe I didn't save the settings correctly initially, but whatever. Ramsey's going to bring up the ball. Cougars already down 2-0 after a couple of nice offensive plays by the Huskies to get themselves on the board. So they'll work around. Ramsey has not passed the ball to anyone else. He's had the ball for 16 seconds in his own pause. Guy calling for it in the corner. Not a lot of space over here. Just nobody really doing a whole lot to free themselves up. Ooh, there we go. Set a screen, drive the lane. That should have been an easy 2. Game got glitched into a double team and turned the ball over. Okay, well. Great. Not a good start for the Cougars as Baxter, corner 3, puts them up 5. That was a terrible possession for the Cougars last time. Ramsey had an easy drive down the lane and just missed it, but also held the ball the entire time. Moorhead getting a look here with the ball. He loses it, and the Huskies are off on a run. Hollins going to get fouled, so he'll go to the line. He'll go to the line for 2. I noticed that when I talk too fast, I just don't enunciate any syllables. We have an injury for the Huskies. By the way, this is NCAA March Madness 2007. This is a new game in the Mascot Tournament. We've used 05, 09, 06, 06, and now 07. Hopefully that means that Louisville doesn't just bully their way through the entire tournament and win, because they were back-to-back victors, made it not exciting, and their style of basketball is very boring. 2 for 2 on free throws. Washington is going to do a full-court trap here, full-court press, because the Cougars already can't score points anyway, so why not make it worse? Over to the middle to Nielsen. You got a guy way down in the middle of the lane. Missed the shot. Puckett there. Nielsen there. Puckett there. Oh my goodness. That was like 3 blocks by the same person. Telegarski. The Cougars couldn't do anything. They just kept putting up shots. They kept getting blocked. And it is now 7-2. So the Cougars finally on the board. Now down 5. Baxter brings it up. Took him almost 2 minutes to score, but that is okay. Lopez dancing around the 3-point line. Bounce pass back to Collins. Collins thinks about going inside, bounces back out. Back to Baxter on the left side. Bounce pass inside to Collins. A lot of bodies in here. Somehow swiveled through all of that traffic and got it. For some reason, the Cougars threw it halfway up the floor. That'll give the ball to Puckett. Pass over to Moorhead, who fakes the shot. Working it kind of around. Everybody's around the perimeter. Nobody really in the paint. There's a nice little float pass to Ramsey, who gets blocked again. Nielsen back to Ramsey. Ramsey out to Edwards. Got a leg injury and a steal. So the Cougars look just utterly confused. That was a terrible defensive play there. And it is 11-2. So not a great start. Some would argue a horrendous start. Almost a 5-second violation. He went right back to it. Bounces off again. Edwards to Ramsey. Down 9 early in this game. Kicks out. Moorhead. Probably should have popped and shot there. Puckett into a double team. Edwards is going to have to take a long 2. That's off the rim. No good. So 11-2. 3 minutes gone. The games will get more exciting. Has been very bad. Finally a block for the Cougars, but they can't come up with a loose ball. They are mercifully gifted a missed shot. That should have absolutely been easy points. That somehow wasn't a foul. Back inside, nothing. That again, not a foul, just a clean block. And started to do a bit of a slop fest here. Fast-paced missed baskets. That's what everybody loves when they watch basketball. Goodness almighty. This is ugly. Didn't even bother to put a hand in the face or anything. Just said, you take that. You're good. Free to shoot it just as much as you want. Don't worry. So Ramsey will pass over to Edwards. They're running a little play to Moorhead. Moorhead double teamed here because the other player didn't really get out of the way. Finds a little space there. Finally gets the Cougars a basket from the floor, because the other 2 points were from the free throw line. There's Washington. Baxter running that play. Short. Rebounded by Ramsey. That's a very popular play in this game. Run a shooter. There's a nice move and a nice dunk for the Cougars. Very popular play in this game, though. All of the variants of it is running a shooter down by the baseline, coming up near that spot. Either like 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock. You know, one of those kind of things. But 7 or 5. And going from there. May have adjusted my camera too much. I don't know why it's bothering me so much, but it is. All right, Moorhead. We're good with the ball here. Down 10. Do not get a 5-second violation. They don't. Drive it into Edwards. Edwards puts a nice move on there. Smashes it down. Still down 8, though. Through 5 minutes of the first half. Huskies running it again. The Cougars defense looks just unbelievably confused when that play is run. What makes that play so dangerous, especially in 2005, as I'll talk about this a lot throughout the tournament, is the defense didn't do a great job at covering on it, and it often led to like easily predictable made threes. Where 09 and 06 succeeded were that sometimes the players would overrun their spots, and sometimes the defense would do a better job at like picking up the offensive player and making sure that they weren't getting just free, easy looks at the basket. The Cougars look like they're playing NCAA March Madness 2005, where the shooter is just unbelievably wide open, and they just keep letting them have it. The Cougars are lucky to only be down 10. The Huskies have missed some shots here and there that have allowed Washington State to feel like they're in kind of striking distance, but I don't know how much longer that's going to last. Cougars need to figure out their defense here. That's a nice defensive play. Couldn't get a hold of the loose ball though, so that's unfortunate. Split the difference. Oh, there it is. There it is. Shouldn't have looked back. That is a wide open dunk for the Washington Huskies. I bet people are going to look at it and be like, it was the same. You had it where you normally had it. You moved it differently and then just moved it right back to where it was and was like, yeah, that's right. All right, 22-12. If you're the Cougars, I want to see this lead down to 5 by half. Or I guess they would, in their shoes, it would be their deficit. I want to see that down to 5. 5, maybe a 1-possession game, 3-2, somewhere in there. But if you're gonna try and make any sort of comeback here, yeah, I don't think you can really be down 10 in the waning moments or in the second half. Oh, that is an entire shot clock violation. I thought that the player on the right was going to just jack up a 3, but obviously that's not what happened. I don't know if the Cougars even took a 3 in their last tournament appearance, which was round 1 of September's Mascot Tournament. There's a foul. There's an up and in. That's a good start. 22-14. Ooh, wow. 4-point play. Getting 4 points the hard way. Lead suddenly 6. Was a nice tip in by the Cougars offense there. Good defense there to cover Baxter, make sure he doesn't get an open look. You take the covered 3 every single time. Throw the ball ahead. He has so much room to work with. Oh my goodness. Puckett back out to Moorhead. Moorhead probably should have taken that shot. I'd live with that. I'd live with that as a coach. I'd live with that as a player. Blocked shot down low. Cougars can't cut the lead down. I'll give up 2 on the other end. 1:36 remaining here. First half of action. Going pretty smoothly. We'll do bracket check-ins. Defensive foul here. That's team number 3, or team foul number 3. Personal foul number 1 for Baxter there. Kick, maybe don't do that. Oh, the Cougars. They had it at 6. It had ballooned to 10. In back-to-back bad possessions. That was a dumb pass. Don't bounce past it back behind you when you were about to cross the midcourt. Bounce pass into Puckett. Puckett going to get charged with an offensive foul. So it is all falling apart for the Cougars here. As they had that great 4-point play off the missed free throw. There's an excellent block. Just can't get a hold of the loose ball. There's a hook shot off the rim. No good. Ramsey, again, got that guy kind of going left. Maybe we should cut down to the basket more. By the way, what I was saying is we're going to check the bracket standings right around the halfway point, and we'll wrap it up at the end. And then in parts 2 through 8, God, that's a daunting number. In parts 2 through 8, there will be like a reminder of what happened and stuff. So, but everybody's at 0. At the moment. There's a 3 for the Cougars. Splashed it home. 16 seconds here for Washington to work. No shot clock to worry about. Passes the ball over to Lopez. For some reason, the Cougar defender just kind of fell off for no reason. That's a 2 that's off the mark and no good. So that'll do it for the first half, which means we will go ahead and go over here. Cougars will get the ball first. That's going to be at Puckett. And we will start the tournament. And we're off. There you go. Moorhead kicking the ball to a 2. There you go. Washington State back down to 5. That's where the lead sits. Been as close as 4, but as bad as 12, 11, 12, somewhere in there. Lopez. Dribbling on the outside here. Pass over to Hollins. Almost another 5-second violation. Cougars have nicely done. I was just about to say that they've done pretty good on the defensive side. They've forced a shot clock violation. Could they be looking at another one? No. It was a nice turnover, though. So a good takeaway for Washington State, and then a nice block by Washington. Washington State will maintain control of the ball as it was last touched by the Huskies. Puckett whipping it all the way across to Edwards. Shot clock down to 22 seconds. Didn't reset, never hit the rim. So Ramsey got dangerously close to dancing out of bounds. Kick down to Moorhead. Back over to Ramsey. Ramsey shuffling, sliding, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodging. Edwards, 5 on the shot clock, trying to drive, trying to find some space. 3-pointer, up and good. 2-point game. Cougars have hit a couple of threes here in the second half. I don't believe they took a single 3 in the first half. There's a 3 from Washington. That's off the right rim. Cougars chance to tie. 3-pointer gives them the lead, trying to dance around. You got a guy streaking to the hoop. Missed opportunity. Kick it back out to Moorhead. Moorhead looked to drive inside, but nothing doing. Back to Ramsey. Ramsey puts him on the floor. Defensive foul, though. Never got set. Edwards takes the ball in and throws it away. There was a wide open Cougar streaking down the middle of the paint and just nothing to do. Nice defense by the Cougars. Again, can't get the offensive, or the loose ball, excuse me. Another shot attempt or 2 from the Huskies. Goes flat. The Cougars still only down 2. Mercifully allowed to be in this game by the Huskies not being super efficient on the offensive end. Feels like the Washington lead should have been about 16 to 18 points with the number of missed shots that they had, including a couple that were like very open. Kicks out to Edwards. 6 on the shot clock. Driving down. There's a perfect lane. That's a shot block at the absolute last second. That was a great move. That was a good offensive and a good defensive play. It was nice on the Cougar side to get him wide open. That was a great defensive recovery there. The Cougars got it as close as 2. They've gone cold. Edwards thought maybe he tried a little mid-range jumper, but nothing doing. Moorhead trying to drive inside, kicks back to Edwards. They really don't want to take 3s unless they have to. That was just a flat-out air ball. And the Cougars might be in danger of falling apart yet again. They were able to get some duct tape on the wheels. Held for a little bit, but that duct tape might be getting a little bit loose. Cougars need points here. Get something going here. Moorhead, deep 2. There we go. Swished it home. And with 6:30 in the game, we're back to that 2-point deficit. We do see this a lot, though. Washington has led the entire time. The Cougars have gotten close a couple of times. They've made a few runs here and there, but they've also shown consistency in falling further behind. They get to 4, fall behind. They get to 2, kind of crumble a little bit. And we see that a lot in this tournament where a team leads the whole time, maybe should lead by more, but we also see other teams make comebacks that just can't quite get there. They get to 6, they get to 4, and they never get over that hump. We'll see if that is what the Cougars' problem will be today. Another 3 from Washington, and that is back-to-back 3s. Lead back up to 6. Pass over to Ramsey. Got a kind of works somewhere in the paint. I understand why you wouldn't want to, just because of how many blocks they've given up, but there's Moorhead. Nothing doing there, trying to drive inside. That's my bracket is going to take a huge hit. I always go with my heart. I always go with the Cougars. I pick them to go very far, and they always disappoint, and I know that I shouldn't do it. Cougars now down by 8 because their offense is not great. The Huskies having a good defensive game here. Obviously, still plenty of time. 5 minutes in the second half is a lot of time to work with. They've done it before. They've been able to chip in, but the Cougars are so unwilling to take threes, and they're so bad at covering threes as literally another one happens. There's a fire up front. Kind of want to see that aggressiveness a little more frequently. That ended up being a block by Baxter. Absolute monster down below. Or down in the paint there. Wow. Got the shot up. They called that very early. Whew. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. For the Cougars to do something. Ramsey's got to get that ball up across the midcourt. I don't know why he winged it like that. I think he was right there. He needed to take 2 steps. Instead, tried to throw it forward. I see what he's going for. It's a defensive foul. And the Cougars are just coming apart at the seams here. I'll be honest, with the way that the Huskies have performed in this game, I would be surprised if they make it past the second round. They got blocked. They missed 2 free throws and got blocked. So the Cougars, again, getting very lucky with Washington being a little bit, I don't know what the word is, but just a little inconsistent on the offensive end. That feels like a generous term, honestly. Ramsey stole the ball, or got the ball loose, but unfortunately it was a foul. So, second foul on Holland, second team foul for Washington in the second half. Oh, that was not the person to pass to. You had a guy wide open on the left. I believe it's Moorhead. Puckett. Ramsey. Edwards out to Moorhead. That is Moorhead. Tried to get the ball inside. I'm starting to wonder if the Cougars will ever win a mascot game. They're going to fall to 0-5 here unless something magical happens in the last 3 minutes. But their refusal to take threes, but they're also not great at getting the ball inside. So it's this weird, like, if you don't want to take threes, that's fine. Just be good about getting the ball inside. Instead, they're not good about getting the ball inside, and they have no interest in shooting threes, and it's just like, why? What's the point here? You look like a team that's just so willing to either try and drive the ball inside and not pass it inside, or try to settle for like mid-range jumpers the entirety of the game, and that's not going to work. It's a good recovery by the Washington State defense. Get a hold of that loose ball. That's a nice rebound there. Got a guy streaking up the right side. Moorhead doesn't find him at all. There he finally finds him, but it's too late now. Ramsey. There we go. There's a nice pass, catch, and shoot. Somehow the Cougars have momentum. I don't understand how that is. 41-34 here. 7-point game. That was a better offensive play. Cougar defender jumped really late. Still, again, the Cougars need to push further into the paint. There's a nice jam home there. Lead at 7. They keep ending up right about foul line depth all the way around. They're like, yeah, this is where I would like to be. And their defense can't really help them here. So it is 45-36. We are under 2 minutes to go. The Cougars have to get this down to 3 or 4 to have a reasonable chance. I don't know why they're not shooting more threes. They're actually performing very well from beyond the arc. So it's down to 6, 93 seconds to go. Back inside. We might have another one of those weird tie-up scenarios. And it's not a literal tie-up, it's a metaphorical game tie-up where, for whatever reason, that's a trouble spot in every single one of these games that we've done, is right where he's standing. It just, the game breaks. 5. Hook shot short, no good. Offensive rebound up, no good. Defensive rebound, 63 seconds to go. 45-39. Cougars probably could use a 3 here. A mid-range 2 is fine. 57.5. Can they get a stop here? Ooh, boy, do we have a fantastic finish. That was an absolute bully job by the Huskies there. They can burn some time here. They have all kinds of timeouts. They have all kinds of fouls to give. Strip the ball. Edwards comes up with it. Forwards the ball to Ramsey. Ramsey holds on to it. Cannot take a 5-second violation here. Passes the ball over to Moorhead. Moorhead, he's hot. He's pulsing. Feeling good. Moorhead driving inside. Out to Ramsey. That was a weird pass. Fall away 2. He's good. 25 seconds to go. Cougars are going to have to foul immediately. I wouldn't have fouled immediately in that scenario for the one specific reason that they still have to get the ball up the floor. You can get interceptions at midcourt. I disagree with this from the Cougars. I get you're trying to extend the game. I understand that. I do think that at least letting them, if they get past, you're still working with 15 seconds. Best case, like in my head, it's best case scenario, turnover, maybe quick timeout, maybe, see what happens. Turnover, maximum amount of time. Worst case scenario, as the Cougars can't get oh my goodness. They're going to go. They're not even going to call a timeout. It's 45-43, 11 seconds to go. Washington almost strips the ball away. Oh my goodness. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Edwards for the win. Washington led the whole way, and the Cougars just couldn't get it down. I disagree with what they did there. They were, again, blessed with the Huskies not making shots. They missed a free throw, missed a couple of easy putbacks to put the game at 4 points, and kind of, not like out of reach, but like, boy, you're really hoping for a lot to go right. The Cougars got the rebound. Usually you see timeouts called there. They didn't call a timeout. They didn't even get the ball to midcourt and call a timeout. They just went with it. They're just like, yeah, that's fine. You just run with it. And again, their refusal to push the ball inside. That was around the perimeter the entire time. Ended up being their undoing. And their willingness to only shoot threes at the buzzer for the most part. Man. All right, there it is. I'm annoyed because I know that I picked the Cougars to go very freaking far, and they let me down. 45-43. We'll see you again. We'll see you in 6 months, Washington State. You are still winless. 45-43 is the score here. I put the wrong thing in. I almost screwed everything up, but I noticed that it was. I was like, Washington State doesn't win jack. Anyway, the point is, Washington wins. Submit the score, and we are on the board. Washington's moving on to the second round. Obviously, they will face the winner of the next game, which is Texas and Kentucky. As soon as I find my controller. Oh, what a heartbreaking, frustrating game. They never never got close. They got as close as 2, and they couldn't get over that hump. So what did I say? Texas and Kentucky. Texas is the away team. Oops. Texas Longhorns taking on Kentucky. The Wildcats and the Longhorns coming up next for you right here. Again, settings, 10 minutes, All-American, all that good stuff. We'll move on quickly. Just wash the taste of the last game out of our mouth. And then, maybe next time we don't pick the team that's lost literally every tournament game that they've ever played in. Maybe. We won't. We'll follow our hearts. And we will pick that team. All right, welcome on into Rupp Arena. McCray gets the first possession here started here for the Kentucky Wildcats. Ball is flipped up. He didn't give that very much time. Looked like it might have bounced into something, but obviously it didn't. The game said, nah, we're good. We'd like to move on now. Kentucky on the board with the odd score of 1-0. E. Stewart brings it up for the Longhorns. Kentucky meets them in the middle. We have Brooks. I need to figure out all the teams that play full court defense and play them against each other so we get rid of them as quickly as possible. They're so boring to watch. Brooks for the 3 gets the Longhorns on the board. I feel like this would be a marquee matchup around this time. Because, let's see, Kevin Durant was on the cover of 2008. Kentucky's, college basketball blue blood. This would have been a big, this would have been an ESPN Saturday night showcase. They would have had game day there. Would have been very exciting. We're back to the free throw line here. We have 6 total points scored. Half of them are from the free throw line. And Kentucky missed 3 shots on that exact possession. All right, Brooks working with the ball here. Has a lockdown defender on him. Boone going to take a big 3 there. That is a big Longhorn. That might be Kevin Durant. That Longhorn is huge. So Texas could be a formidable. I kind of forget that Kevin Durant went to Texas. Because I'm not always the most, attentive to college basketball, especially when I was, late teens. That was actually probably when I was, least attentive to football. Which I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be now, considered now, I'm attuned to what's going on. Sure, social media and phone apps really help with that, even though I don't get to really watch the games. It's a nice play from Miller. Nice spin. It bounced off the rim about 9 times. Finally drops to the right. Puts Texas up 3, 8-5. I'm pretty sure I picked Texas in this game. If you want to look at the bracket in its entirety, you can go right there. challenge.com/MMM2021. Beware, though, when this video posts on YouTube, we will be through the second part of the first round, so we'll be halfway done with it. So there may be some spoilers, but if you want to just kind of look at what's going on, go for it. And if this for some reason ends up as one of the great games of the tournament, you can kind of see how things shook out that way. Kentucky gets some turnovers here. It was 8-5, now it's 9-8. Guess I should be focused a little more on the game and not on the bracket. But when your bracket's in danger of getting demolished, I'm sure whatever team I had winning this game didn't go much further. So that's good news. Brooks finally gets it. Stewart drives down the middle of the lane. I disagree with that call, that decision there. There was a wide open Longhorn right at the basket as Kentucky is on, what is this, an 8-0 run? Again, Longhorn right at the basket, and the other Texas player says, I don't want to pass the ball. I'd like to score, please. And the guy's like, I'm right here. I am standing unbelievable. I can touch the rim. Look at that. Just give me the ball. So, Texas went from being up 3 to down 5. Kind of a little mid-court trap there. Brooks on the right wing. Back to Boone. Boone with a 3 short off the right iron. Defensive rebound, Kentucky. They'll bring the ball up the court. Jeffrey dances around. McRae. Colin McRae. McRae, maybe? There's a nice steal from B. Boone right in the middle. Just stuck his arm out and said, this ball is mine now. This one, that one, this one, those, they're mine. I patrol the middle. Kentucky. Bounce pass to Courtney. Passes back out to McRae. That's going to be a foul on the shot. No make, though, so that's good news. Off the back iron, no good. A dead silent referee. I don't know who Rupp is, but I'm sure he sucks. Nice play from Texas there. McRae dribbles around. They get it to Courtney, who looked like he stopped short a little bit. Again, it's that play they run on the baseline. In this, they're not only do the shooters overrun and the defense plays it better, like overrunning their spots and stuff. Sometimes the offense will cut it off right in that little spot there and just get like a quick mid-range too. Worked well for Kentucky on that. We'll see if they go back to it. Texas is running the same thing on the opposite side. Nice defense by Kentucky to rotate around correctly. Into Boone, little mid-range too. That'll splash home. We have a 2-point game. We have a good little contest here going on. Nobody's been up by a ton. Texas's max lead was 3. Kentucky's max lead 5. Kentucky a nice little 8-0 run there in the first half to swing it in their favor. But Texas can tie it here. A nice make there by, I believe that's Stewart or Styles. McRae's going to bring it up the floor. There's a bounce pass to Stroud. That's a nice 3. That was a really well run offensive play and a great little pick down in the bottom of the key there. Just a nice like interrupting screen. It didn't allow him to get there fast enough. McRae throws up a 3, rattles around the rim a bunch, looking for that Kawhi Leonard luck, but no such luck will befall him. Go back to Texas. They're down 5 now. Kentucky, switching into this full court mode yet again. There's a nice play inside for Texas. They'll get the ball up and in. So it's back down to 3. Kentucky, little touch, rattle, rattle, roll, nothing doing. Texas can tie with a 3, cut it to 1 with a 2. Boone's been good from 3 so far. That's a bad pass. It's going to be a backcourt violation. It was either going to be a backcourt violation or it was going to be out of bounds. Ends up being the backcourt variant of it. Nice steal there. Again, Boone controlling that middle area. You're not getting past him. Look at his wingspan's huge. Just a huge obstacle in the path of the basketball, getting from point A to point B. Again, running that play, but again, a nice pick on that screen gave the Kentucky shooter a wide open look at a 3. Just couldn't quite get it. Inside to Brooks. Got blocked. So it looked like a two-handed block. That looked like just an absolute stuffing down there. The Wildcats looking to push their lead out. Stroud overran his spot a little bit. Didn't get that three that he was most likely looking for. Almost a 5-second violation. Stroud over to Jeffrey. He has that magical three next to him. Bounce pass into Stroud. Back out to Jeffrey. There's a very weird alley-oop sort of situation off the side of the backboard. And eventually it'll be a Kentucky basket. I don't know where I was going in there. It's Kentucky steal there. McRae having to deal with Boone there. At least I believe that's who that is. Brooks to Stewart. Stewart to Brooks. Stewart up. No good, but a defensive foul is called. So we'll be looking at 2 from the line. Front end, no good. No good. 1:32 remaining here, first half. These games have been breezing by pretty quickly. Granted, we're only in the second one, but been up and down affairs. You can see some of the rust on some of the players. Haven't played in a while. Who knows when the last time this game was fired up. Offensive foul on Kentucky will give Texas an opportunity. Miller can make this shot. He does, to tie it. So we're all knotted up at 25 with 1:20 in the first half remaining. Winner plays Washington in the second round. That'll be 2 weeks from today. Jeffrey with a three. Again, Kentucky is running those plays to perfection, and they have just the man to be shooting those shots. He has had open look after open look after open look. He only missed one of them that was, that open. That was a quick shot from Texas. That was another quick shot from Texas, and that's an out of bounds, not a defensive foul. You see a lot of those animations that look the same, defensive fouls versus out of bounds. McRae over to Stroud. Stroud all the way over to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, who's been lighting it up from beyond the arc. He's going to go inside. Nothing doing there. Brooks comes away with the ball. Shot clock is off. We're under 30 seconds to go. Texas can, if they want, hold for the final shot. They most likely won't. Teams rarely do. I would say with that amount of time on the clock, it's more common that they'll take a shot. When it gets to this amount of time, 15 seconds and under, that's when they'll typically hold for it, but no guarantees. Into a double team on the baseline. He's going to lose the ball. Texas pushing. Got to push a little bit more. That was a terrible shot. That was almost such a bad shot, timing-wise, that they almost got another shot off. They don't. Texas will get the ball to start the second half. It is 28-25. They'll go right in to get a basket, and they'll get the foul at the same time. Texas, I'm going to point out, I love the hat. I love the straw hat on the Longhorns. Never really mentioned that before, but I'm a fan of it. Just in case you get a little toasty. Just wave the hat in front of your face. You'll be good to go. So here we go. Second half of action. 3-point play is completed. Jeffrey again from the 3-point line. That's probably the most contested he's been from that area, from that play. Win. That's a shot that's just a little too strong off the backboard, or back iron, excuse me. I like the shot though. I like the grab. I like the shoot immediately. Boone running it down yet again. Slamma jamma. Lead. So there you go. 30-28. Forget what I was saying earlier. Doesn't matter. We're moving on. We're watching some basketball. We're watching a really good game of basketball here. This is an exciting, thrilling game. Texas having to deal with that full court press. Again, you got to kick the ball down in the paint. You had Wynn or Boone. Both of them were in the vicinity to make something happen there. It's a nice three, though, from the Texas Longhorns. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Float pass inside. Stroud, nothing. come up with a loose ball out to Jeffrey. He's had the hot hand beyond the arc. Typically pretty open that time, very well covered. Stroud driving inside through 2 defenders and still finds room to jam. Stewart gets the ball. Pass up to Wynn. Wynn gets the ball stripped, kind of ran into the guy. Just a little bit of a mess there. Kentucky back-to-back baskets, 3-point lead, or a 3-point deficit, now a 1-point lead. Texas gotta come away with something here. You can't give Kentucky these runs. There's a flip pass up towards the middle of the floor. I thought that the Kentucky player, with the way that ball was thrown, it looked like it was in the air for a very long time. Boone's going to take a 3, splash it home. It's the B. Boone versus Jeffrey show here. C. Jeffrey. B versus C. Just stroking it from deep. It's a nice play inside. And we're all knotted up at 36. Yeah. Another thought process. Long gone. Oh, yeah. That ball was in the air for so long, it looked like the guy was going to be able to get over and get the steal. But no such luck for Kentucky. They do get the steal that time around. McCray, though, throws it away. Stewart just stepped right in front of it. Saw exactly what he was doing. Nice alley-oop there. Saw exactly where he wanted to go, exactly what he was going to do there. That's a dangerous pass into the corner. There's running him again. Jeffrey again from 3, again wide open. Not the best pick set there because Texas had a player screaming towards him, but it doesn't matter. When Jeffrey has the hot hand, he has the hot hand. There's a pass to Boone. A lot of Longhorns on the left side of that floor. See if they spread him out here a little bit. They do. Work to Boone over there. There's another 3 from him. No such luck that time. I thought it was off the back of the iron. Maybe just a smidge strong. I forgot to mention at the top of the broadcast that stick around after. We have a special presentation of Orango after the basketball is done. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of that fantastic film. There's a nice play by Texas to get the ball up on up the floor, excuse me. Nice pass inside, and again going to the Boone, the hot hand. It's a little mid-range 2 there, cuts the lead to 1. Stroud overran his spot just a little bit. Now you don't really want to see players taking shots from that deep, at least not in 2007. In 2020, 2021, probably. It's a Steph Curry situation. Yeah, you're probably all right with it. There's a nice jam home for the Texas Longhorns, who have scored a couple baskets in a row, and they have retaken the lead. 3-point deficit erased, 1-point lead in its place. Jeffrey again. That was probably a little bit of a heat check 3 there. That was one of the more covered shots he's had today. And still was nearly good. That looked like it was off the back iron. 42-41. Under 5 to go here in the second half. Shot is up. That is a beautiful shot. That's a fall away, fade away. Magic going on there. Fires the ball up the floor to Miller. Miller just ran through that dude. Not even an opportunity, not a chance. He just said, I am going to score. You are in the way. Move. Stroud getting a nice open look for 3, and he'll bury it. So that'll push the Kentucky lead to 2. Stewart back to Miller. Miller has a player up on the left. That's Brooks. Brooks can pass it in. He's got a man wide open. Instead, they'll work to Stewart. Stewart's beyond the arc. Don't want him taking a shot from that deep. They'll try to cut in again. Nothing doing. Good defense by Kentucky. More pass outs. 13 seconds on the shot clock here. Stewart again kind of looking to maybe drive. There he finally kind of gets some room. Boone's going to take a 3. Short off the left iron. Brooks gets the rebound. Little flare on that layup, just couldn't get it to drop. 46-44. Almost saw a 5-second violation. Stroud has the ball. Pass. That's again, Boone, get out of my way. I control this entire area. That somehow was not a make. Excellent defense there by Jeffrey. Posed just enough of a problem to alter the shot without getting a foul. That is good stuff. That was, again, right in that middle spot. This time it's Win. They've switched off. They said, these are your patrol hours, these are my patrol hours. My shift, same result. Get to steal, goes up the floor, goes for 2. And that is a jam. That is a jam for Kentucky. Under 3 to go here. We have a great game. Back and forth. Fantastic action here. Second game of March Mascot Madness 3. Fires the ball up the floor. Not a great one. We saw that in the Cougars game as well, where somebody just threw it about 2 steps from the midcourt line. There was no real reason for them to do that. Leads to a turnover here. Leads to 2 points here. Just like that, it's a 4-point game. Texas obviously not out of it at all. Still very much alive. They need to get moving here. A couple extra seconds. Stewart, a little mid-range. That's kind of a short. Somehow he missed the putback. A short-range jump shot there. I like the shot. They had the rebound free and clear. That should have been a putback jam. Jeffrey, you do not want him with the ball in his hands. This is a 7-point lead for Kentucky. Just when I said, hey, wow, what a great game. What a great game. I believe Kentucky is on a 9-0 run. Stewart fires the ball forward to Boone for no reason. It was right near the midcourt line. Couldn't regain composure here. Boone couldn't get all the way to the basket. A good look at it. All right, so we're approaching 90 seconds here. It wasn't that long ago that this game was a 2-pointer. It is now 7. Texas is going to need a lot of help if they want to come back. 1:20, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Malvison short off the left iron. Somehow that was a rebound out to McCray. Texas is going to have to foul. That was a huge missed rebound for the Longhorns. Stroud, 60 seconds to go. They'll foul immediately. That's one of the interesting things to look at with these games is how quickly they foul. If they were going to foul, they might as well should have fouled after the offensive rebound just immediately. Instead, they burned about 15 seconds or so off the clock, which puts you in a little bit of like a no man's land scenario where you've already burned 15 seconds, which is a waste. You could also just tempt fate and try and burn another 20 seconds off the clock, force up a shot, get a rebound. Kentucky had a tough fight on their hands this time around. That's the 7th team foul. We'll see a 1-and-1 opportunity here for the Wildcats. They'll bury the first one. It's an 8-point game. Oh my goodness, Texas can't get a rebound. Ten-point lead. Texas will take a timeout with 52 seconds remaining. Got a little note there. 10 seconds, or 10-point lead, excuse me. Texas has called off the dogs. They will just kind of deal with their fate here. I wrote that there was a solid 18 minutes in this game, and then Kentucky took over in the last 2 minutes. Very competitive. I accidentally commentators cursed it. It was right at like a 46-44 game, somewhere in there, and then it just absolutely fell apart. So we'll get the score sheet ready here. I actually need to hop up and use the restroom here in just a moment. Got stripped away. They threw it halfway down the floor, and they still lost the ball. Cool. Texas, 46. Kentucky, 56. We will submit that score, and we will be moving on here. Kentucky winners. They will face Washington in the next game, and we will quit the game. You're going to be stuck listening to about the same 10-second song loop, so I apologize for that. I apologize. It's not great. Maybe it's a little different this time around. I don't know. We'll get you set here for the next game, which is... Oh, it's UConn and Duke. I lost my page because I knocked my freaking page. California at Duke, I'm sorry. Cal at Duke. That'll be the next game up. We're going over to North Carolina. We'll be right back with more March Mascot action. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to more March Mascot Madness here on twitch.tv/DinosaurusRex. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. We have the Cal Golden Bears taking on the Duke Blue Devils. Get right into the action here again. You know the drill. You know what's going on. All-American, 10 minutes. Baseline mid, that's our camera. That has nothing to do with the gameplay, but it looks nice. Remember the entirety of the first tournament when it was just the sideline cam? Because I never thought, hey, just go into the options and, change it. Game number 3 of 8 today. Coming up for you right now. We have the Golden Bears taking on the Duke Blue Devils, who won the first tournament 3 years ago. Or 2 years ago? Sorry, 2 years ago. Started streaming in 2019. Nice block there by that player. Albert. Back to Burgess. Burgess off the left iron, no good. It has probably been a very long time since we've been to Duke, but it looks kind of odd for some reason. I don't know why. So far today we've had 2 of the top 15 teams ranked teams. I can't remember how high Kentucky was ranked. Excuse me, how high Kentucky was ranked. I think their floor is a little bit different this time around because they have an off-center shot clock, and I'm pretty sure that's never happened before. Of course, Duke may have just played a lot of games on the road, so I don't know. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this, and I'm going, something's not right here, but I'm also like, I don't know enough about it to say that. But here we go. 9 minutes, 7 seconds remaining here. We have gone 55 seconds now without a basket, without a point, without nada. Love the Cardigan Bears here. They're going to get blocked. He's going to put up another shot. He's going to get fouled. He's going to go off the left iron. No good. So, Frost will look to put the first points on the board from the free throw line. And he'll only put 1 point singular on the board. Hubbard has the ball. One-on-one situation here. California squares up defensively. Nice pass into Albert here. Albert back to Burgess. Or Burris, perhaps. Not 100% sure. We'll go with Burgess. Burgess to Hubbard. Hubbard dancing around outside. Over to Burgess. Inside Albert. Albert tries to get the nice little alley layup thing that they try to do from time to time. Nothing doing there. Gibbons to Maxwell. Maxwell. One-on-one here. Back over to Gibbons. Spins around. Throws it back to Maxwell. Maxwell inside. And that's going to end up being a turnover. Still a 1-0 game here. This is simultaneously both like pretty good defense with some turnovers and the like, but it's also been abysmal. I was going to say anemic. Either's fine, honestly. Either word works. Abysmal or anemic offense. And of course, as soon as I say that, Duke makes a three. So 3-1, odd score. Pitts to Frost. We'll say that's a pass. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'll slam it home 3-3. Offense is maybe starting to warm up a little bit. See if they can get something going. There's a deep three. Nothing doing there. Pitts driving. Just a free and clear lane. That's going to be a foul. That's a bit of an odd play. Ran into a double team. Probably could have kicked out to do something different there. But, you know. It is what it is. Cal will put another point on the board. They'll put another point on the board. 5-3 here. Kicking the ball up to the front court. Burgess over in the corner to Carson. Burris, I still don't know. Albert dances on the sideline and just steps out. Duke's offense looking real bad here. Real bad. They have 3 points on 1-3, and they have a couple of times where they've just stepped on the line. Gibbons bounce pass to Frost. Frost with a double team on him. Loses the ball. Gets poked. Hubbard up to Burris. Burris. Nice shot there. A little bit of a circus play there. Up over the back. They'll work with a little bit of a full court press. Not quite what you see from Kentucky with the full court like trap. They're just making you work for it all the way up to 4. Nice play there by California to switch the ball mid-air from left hand to right hand, still make the shot. 7-5, California. Nice steal by Maxwell there. He'll rifle it forward to Gibbons. Gibbons will jam it home, and that puts the California Golden Bears on a run. 8-2 since Duke made that 3. Hubbard driving inside. Couldn't get the shot to drop, but does draw the foul, so at least something positive comes out of it. We have a 9-6 game, or a nice game. 6-9. Nice. Shot is up. Lasts just as quickly as you would expect a 6-9 game to last. Not very long. And there was 6:19 left on the clock. Maxwell has the ball. Got a wide open guy in the corner. Doesn't really do anything with it. Had pretty free and clear shot down the lane there with the way Duke was playing defense with nobody in the paint. Probably could have just turned that corner and had a pretty good shot at a layup. Instead, threw it to a guy for a covered 3 and just couldn't do anything with it. Odd play here from California. They'll go inside that time, but into a double team. Very confusing. It's like California said, like, let's make it as difficult as possible. No open shots. Double teams only. (11-9). Oh, that was a dangerous pass. Benefits Duke as they get the ball back and miss a shot. So up and down game. We've had a lot of those so far this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. The early part of this tournament, a lot of up and down, a lot of missed shots. Fast-paced, but not effective. There's a 3 from Maxwell. Frost, he'll jam it home. 13-9. Even 5 left here in the first half of play. There's a 3 off the rim, no good. Oh my goodness, defensive foul from Duke. There is a nice free throw for Duke. They'll cut the lead down to 1. 13-12, 4:43 remaining first half of action. Albert with a steal there. Bounce pass to Hubbard. Bounce pass to Burris. Shot up and shot good. So Duke will take the lead. They'll steal the ball again. That's Hubbard. Over to Burris, inside to Albert. Albert kind of just walking around here, making it really easy on the defense, not using any sort of speed. Ho slamming it down. And just like that, Duke has the lead. A little bit of offensive ineptitude from California has made it easy for Duke to get back in the game, and then plays like that certainly aren't going to help you, California. What are you doing? Why are you playing this way? What's wrong with you? Ball goes back outside. Pop filter's a little bit off. He adjusts it. Looking good. Hubbard trying to drive inside. Kicks outside to Burris. Burris back to Albert. Albert dancing around, looking for some space. Drives it into another California defender. Now he's in a double team. Now the ball's loose. Now it's Gibbons with the turnover. Maxwell has the ball. The magical three right next to him. Frost will spin move block. Gets the rebound, or the loose ball, excuse me. Kicks the ball out to Gibbons. Gibbons, that is, I'm not 100% sure. I believe it's two. Might have been a three. It's really tricky to tell with the feet. Oddly enough, have not referenced this until the third game of the tournament, which is nice. But the feet are a little wider, a little longer, so sometimes threes look like twos. Looks like they're stepping out of bounds. It's a little odd. I just couldn't remember if it was 16-13 or 16-14. But it doesn't matter. The game is tied regardless of if it was a 2 or a 3. Gibbons, another long shot. Somehow coming up with the offensive rebound. Couldn't get it. That fell off the rim. And we're working with a 16-16 game. Loose ball. Free run at the basket for Gibbons, who jams it home. Jam-a-llama. 2-point lead. That's a nice block by California. Pass inside to Maxwell. He jams it home. Another jam. And I believe that's a 7-0 run for the California Golden Bears. It's a 6 or 7-0 run. Kick over to Burris. Probably had a good opportunity at a 3 there. Oh my goodness, the speed from Ho. My goodness. Just looped around that other defender with incredible, surprising speed. It's a great play. Thought that was going to go a little deeper into the paint. Did not. Back outside to Pitts, dancing around. That's a 3-pointer, so we have 23-18 with 1:17 to go. Hubbard. Kicks it around. Burris ends up with it. Or Burgess. No, Burris. I don't know. God dang it. I finally settled on it, and then I looked at it, and I was like, Gibbons up to Maxwell. This has been a good contest here through the first half. Still have another 47 seconds. Gibbons with the 3-2 strong off the right iron, no good. Duke looking for the opportunity to tie. Firing into the middle. That's Hubbard. Nice block from California. Gibbons coming with the ball. He's going to have to kind of hold off and wait. It's not an advantageous situation for a California Golden Bear in that scenario. Wall to Maxwell. Maxwell gets fouled immediately. That is 4 team fouls on the Duke Blue Devils. That'll send the California Golden Bears to the line to shoot 2. First free throw is up and good. Second free throw misses. No one bothers to get the rebound until California does. It ends up as a missed putback. Duke comes away with it, immediately calls timeout. California doing a little bit of what Duke does, just not applying nearly the pressure in any way, shape, or form. They kind of thought about it. That was a great offensive play there. Good defensive recovery. Didn't think he was going to get there in time. Nice pass to Gibbons. Gibbons up. Gibbons in. First half will expire. And California leads by the score of 26-21. Duke coming out here. First possession of the second half. Hubbard, it looked like he had the corner there. Probably could have just dove into the paint and gone for a layup instead. Kind of passed for not much of a reason. They did a better job, though. Instead of settling for a three like California did earlier in the game, they actually bothered to, try and get it closer to the basket. Wall trying to do a fancy spin move there. Gets the ball stripped. It's all the way up to Albert. Albert to Burris. Burris through the contact. Bounces off the Golden Bear. Knocks the shot down. Defensive foul. California ball. So that'll be the second on Albert. And that'll be the first team foul in the second half for the Duke Blue Devils. 26-25. 41 seconds gone here second half. In game number 3 of our tournament. Maxwell with a nice loose ball recovery. Gibbons fakes it. That was a very weird shot. Didn't work at all. Hubbard to Burris to Albert. 2 points. Was 26-21. Duke has scored 6 consecutive points. They have scored all of the points so far in the second half. And they lead by 1. The ball is stolen by Burris, who passes it forward to Hubbard. Works it around the outside, inside to Adams. There's a bear on his bum. And we have a 29-26 game here. And a game that California is just letting it totally slip away from them. Maxwell. There's a 3 from Maxwell. There you go. Put the ball in his hands with a little three-pointer icon. Let him shoot the tray there. Ties the game up. It's a nice defense there. No foul. There's not a whole lot doing there. 5-0 run for Cal puts them back in the lead by 2. 31-29. 2 minutes gone here in the second half. Fantastic game. Burris. That's a 3 that just is a little off the mark. I like that shot. I don't like that dunk. Surprised that it gave him the animation. That's a situation where you gotta pass it to your right. You gotta bounce it. Give it to your man. Let him do something. Obviously, it wasn't the biggest deal in the world because he still made the shot, but at the same time, it's like, come on, dude. Come on, man. Be a team player. Burris driving inside between all kinds of Bears and Blue Devils and all sorts of teams here. Or players, participants on the court. There was a ref in the way. Just kidding, there wasn't. Basketball has probably the best officiating, positioning of any of the 4 major American sports. Football has a bunch of people that are on the field in the way. Baseball, a bunch of people on the field in the way. Sometimes they just get their eyeball blown out by a dude whipping it to first base, and there's just, nothing you can do about it. Hockey, officials on the ice in the way. Basketball, everybody's pretty much off the floor. Good for the players, good for the officials, because they don't get bowled over by big muscular Lola Bunny. They're screaming down the floor. Burris for 3. Splashes it home. Giving it a 1 point. Or giving Duke, a 1 point lead. With 6:19 remaining here in the second half. Winner gets the winner of the next game, Louisville or Georgia Tech. That's not even close. I have a notebook full of listings right here of what's coming up next. Louisville at Oregon State. I'm trying to read this tiny monitor over to my left. What are you doing? What are you doing? 33-34. There's a good play by California. Excellent defensive recovery by Duke. I like that play, though. I like that he went around the outside, tried to get the corner, and work into the paint. Maybe next time he'll throw the ball instead of trying to score on a dude who's a foot and a half taller than he is. Gibbons, another drive inside. That one's going to be short, no foul, or no basket, excuse me. But a foul, and it looks like we have an injury here. Is that Ho? Does not like the cape. Trevor Ho is coming out of the game. Frank Thompson is going to have to come in as we have our second injury of the tournament. There's a basket for California. So 36-35. There's a Blue Devil on his bum over on the other side of the floor. Gets up, gets back into position. It's kind of a Cal Golden Bear move right there. Like he might have had the corner. There's just a lot of players end up at the top of the key for whatever reason. There's Gibbons. Gibbons again, probably could have driven. Maxwell, he'll drive. They'll give him the kind animation. We'll give the Golden Bears a kind 1-point lead. Dancing around here. Adams driving inside. Oh, excellent block by California. I thought that was going to be an easy 2 for the Duke Blue Devils, but that is not the case. 39-36, California up 2. Duke taking the ball up the floor. Down to the final 4.5 minutes of this game. Been an excellent back and forth contest. Had a couple of good ones here in a row. First game was dominated by Washington. The Cougars got close a couple of times, just couldn't get over the hump. We had a back and forth game for the first 18 minutes or so, and then Kentucky took over the final 120 seconds. Some bad play by Texas really didn't help. That bad play did not help extend the lead for California. Instead, it was a missed dunk. Duke can tie with a 3. They'll go inside for a 2. They'll miss off the back iron, but they'll get a good putback there. Just couldn't get it to go. Duke, loose ball. Maxwell recovers. Pitts. Back to Maxwell. Maxwell over to Pitts. A lot of congestion over there. That is a huge 3. Man in his face and everything. I guess I should say devil in his face. Nice shot block there. With California driving. Maxwell. They're on a run. California really giving themselves a nice advantage here towards the late stages of the game. Duke obviously not out of it. Adams not helping himself there. That's out of bounds. That is California ball. That was a clean block that was absolutely going to go out of bounds off California and remain Duke ball. But the way the animation went and the momentum went, it took the Duke player into the out of bounds territory and then he touched it. Wild. It also looks like the Duke isn't quite centered on the baseline. Looks like it's just a smidge to the left. Just bumped a little bit. Out of bounds, Duke ball. 47-38 here. California in control. So we start to wind down to crunch time. Albert. That's a nice 3. Oh, just a smidge strong off that left iron. Gibbons working through the traffic, at least trying to. Passes to Maxwell. Maxwell drives out to Pitts. Pitts with the circus shot. Short. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Duke falling apart here towards the end of the game. And there is a 11-point lead. An 11-point lead. Nice shot by Duke, cutting that lead down to 9. We'll go with a full court defense. If there's anybody that could make a comeback, it's a team that runs a full court defense. especially like a Duke or a Louisville who get a lot of turnovers. That is a foul on the Duke Blue Devils. That'll be team foul number 4. Third personal on Carson there. I will say that's one of the more helpful things about, oh God, he's 666, and the Blue Devil state, he missed the shot, and that'll put him down to about 500. Carson's going to come out. Adams is going to come on in. We have a 50-40 game here with 2:02. I'd say the Blue Devils have about 60 seconds to cut this lead in half. Maybe really go for another one of those full court presses, try to get a steal at the midcourt. Albert dancing around. 3 off the left iron. Adams there for the offensive rebound. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. There were 3 Golden Bear arms that came up. I don't know if he was short on the shot or the shot was blocked. Pushes him off with that shoulder. Maxwell bounce passing the ball. Back out to Maxwell. Back over to Gibbons. Pitts. 7 seconds on the shot clock to go here. We're down to 69 seconds. There's a 3 off the left iron. No good. Duke not doing a whole lot here to put themselves back in this game. We'll see if they even really try to foul their way back into it. They've had some good looks. They just haven't been able to convert. Kind of seeing the same thing with Texas, where Texas and Kentucky were neck and neck with each other. And then Kentucky just took over the game and was able to win, get some offensive rebounds, kind of mitigating their mistakes. And it's like that might be what we have here as well. Though I don't know if California necessarily took the game over or if it was just kind of Duke ran out of gas, out of momentum. It doesn't matter. They will be exiting this tournament early, I should say. Duke will take a timeout, 47 seconds. Again, we have a solid, super solid chunk, and then just fell apart. So there you go. Solid first 3 quarters of the game. I wrote 16 to 18 minutes. I don't know exactly when things started to fall apart for Duke, but Duke's wheels fell off. They ran out of good mojo there. Couldn't get the baskets to fall. And they will exit this tournament against the California Golden Bears. So we'll get this score all written in. It's going to be, I believe it's 52 to 40. That is exactly what it is. California moving on to the next round. All right, here we go. Big one coming up next. I should actually get out of this game before I start introducing the other games. Trying to be more aware of when I'm starting, give myself better, cleaner cuts. Because sometimes, it's just not great. When I go back and look at the, 5 best, I'm like, oh, God, you idiot. Just pay any level of attention to what you're doing there, bud. Next up, we have big game. Big game. We have Louisville taking on Oregon State. This is a big game because if Louisville gets eliminated early, I will feel very relieved just because we won't have to see a triple champion again. Also, if they still play the full court press, that gets us out of that as well. All-American, 10 minutes, baseline mid. You know the drill. We're going to Corvallis, Oregon, where the Oregon State Beavers play, and we will be watching live this game unfold in front of our eyes. We actually will see Oregon schools back to back. Some good teams still to come today. Again, right above me, that's our list today. You can check out the bracket down below. This is game number 4. Before we do game number 5, either before or after I take a break, short break, we will we'll take a look at the bracket standings, and I'm sure that I will be very low. Very low. I think this time more so than some of the other times, as Connor dribbles it outside. It was kind of just like, yeah, Washington State, I like this team more than the team that they're playing. Kind of push them forward. Like, I'd pick Washington State a lot, but, you know, like, oh, I'd pick them over them. I'd pick them over this. That sort of thing. That's not what we're worried about right now. What we are worried about is the Louisville Cardinals and the Oregon State Beavers. Oregon State's on the board first with a 3. Is 3-zip here. Pac-10, well represented today. Of course, they always get good representation in the first day, just because they get 2 teams right out of the gate. But we also have Oregon State. We have Oregon coming up. And that's it. 4 of the 16 teams, 25% play in the Pac-12. Again, you know, easy. I think the Pac-10 has a lot of schools in this. I think the only ones that aren't in it are USC. I think. Because Stanford's in it, Washington is in it, Washington State, both Oregons, both Arizonas, Cal, UCLA. Yeah, I think they're 9 out of the 10. And even if you extend it to the Pac-12, they still get 10 of the 12 teams with Colorado, just not Utah. 7-2 here. Beavers up big early. You love to see it. You love to see a different champion. You love to see Louisville not just demolish their way through an entire tournament. Granted, you know, long way to go here. 8 minutes to go in the first half. That's a long time to work with. But 7-5 after the nice made 3. See what the Beavers do here. This is where you want to kick it up the floor to Irvin. Nice play there. Over to Major. Major back to Irvin. Irvin into Connor. Nice play there. Now, I will say Benny Beaver looks a lot better in person. Or maybe they redesigned him a little bit. He has a lot more definition in his face. This one and Ohio, both of these just kind of look flat. Like it's much more 3-dimensional, but this one just kind of like squishes it for some reason, which is odd considering that the Cardinals that they're playing, like their face is pretty long. They have a beak. They have like stuff going on. They just couldn't get the Beavers or the Bobcats. Though the Bobcats did get fixed in NCAA football 14, and I think even 13 as well. I don't know if Oregon State did. That shot, I don't know what happened. I think that just went off the backboard, or it was an air ball. There was a well-placed Beaver there to take care of it. And the Beavers, 11-5 lead over defending champion Louisville. I think the key for the Oregon State Beavers is going to be on the defensive end to really make sure that they're not letting a ton of Cardinals shots drop. You really want to make sure that they don't have the opportunity to set up their full court press. That will lead to fewer turnovers, which will lead to fewer easy baskets for Louisville. On the offensive side, Oregon State's got to make sure that they hit a lot of their shots and can keep pace with the Louisville Cardinals and not let the game get too out of hand too quickly. Stripped ball. Whitney's coming up with the ball. Passes it over to Lawrence. Not exactly sure who that was, but they are going to the line, so we'll figure out their name here in just a moment as they make that shot and cut it down to a 1-point game. How? I feel like I had a slightly different point that I was going to go with. Lawrence off the left iron, no good. Whitney with a nice rebound. And remember when I was all excited and happy? Well, it's gone now. 12-11. 4:14 gone here in the first half. Oregon State throws the ball into Connor. Connor back to Richardson. Richardson should be throwing the ball up instead of across the floor like that. Back over to Richardson. Back to Connor. That's a 10-second half-court violation. It's a great recovery steal by Oregon State. And a nice play offensively to give them back the lead. Marshall out around the three-point line. Connor comes up with the loose ball. Major driving forward. Irvin off the left iron gets the friendly roll. And it is 15-12. There's another steal. I believe that's Sanchez, Pedro Sanchez. He won mayor in Idaho and elected to go play basketball in Oregon State, Corvallis, Oregon. Connor to Irvin. Irvin back to Connor. Spin move. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Major. And he has the ball, trying to drive. Couldn't quite get that corner. Pass the ball over to Connor. Inside 10 seconds here on the shot clock. They have not really gotten the ball. My goodness, I couldn't even get the sentence out. I was going to say that they have not gotten the ball inside the perimeter at all. And as soon as I said that, or started to say that, nice move to get around the defender and get the ball home for a good jam there. Whitney to Howe, back to Whitney. Back to Marshall. Marshall with a nice shot there off the iron, no good. Offensive rebound, put up, no good. Howe's coming down with the ball. He's putting the ball up. That's 3 missed shots for Louisville on 1 possession. It's a 5-point game. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Had a Beaver wide open down low. There's nothing doing. (18-12). So it ended up being a foul. Just a wild series of events on the other side of the floor. There's a nice shot there. Beavers lead back up to 7. They'll look to give Louisville a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. They won't do it quite like Louisville does. Louisville able to get a nice screen there, push the Beaver down, and move along. Whitney bounce pass into Howe. Howe bounce pass to Lawrence. Lawrence looking for the 3. Actually looked like a pretty good shot. Just bad bounce for the Cardinals as they bounced it off the top of the backboard and out of bounds. Connor pushing forward to Major. Major had 2 Beavers in the paint, ready to roll, ready to score some points, and just elected to not pass them the ball at all. It's frustrating to watch. We saw it a lot with the Cougars earlier in the game where it's just like there's wide open stuff happening. Richardson, nice rebound there. Puts it back up. That's how you get an offensive rebound, and that's how you put it back in the hole. 9-point lead for the Oregon State Beavers here over the 2-time defending champ Louisville. I think we found our game. Rest in peace, Cincinnati Bearcats. I guess you could just kick Louisville out. You could do that. That's a viable strategy, a viable option. Whitney dancing around. Marshall inside. Pump fake. Strip the ball. Major. 2-on-1. 1-on-1. Excellent offensive assist there. It's not going to show up on a stat sheet. But the way that the other Beaver got in the way of the defender and actually blocked him to make sure the lane stayed clear, fantastic. Fantastic work. And you were rewarded with an 11-point lead as Lawrence backs out. Bounce pass to Howe. It's going to be out of bounds, not a defensive foul. Again, those are really difficult to see exactly what happened. There's a lot happened. Those animations also look very similar. There's a steal. That's what Oregon State actually has done a very good job at making sure that they're not falling for that trap. They're working with working against that defensive effort from Louisville. Just like that. Just what seems to look or work the best is maybe 2 passes back, but as soon as there's an open guy in the front court, you got to get the ball up the court. You got to be aggressive and pass the ball forward. They're too lackadaisical of like, oh, we'll pass it back to you, we'll pass it back. And then by that time, you're pushed one way, and the defender that's standing in the middle of the floor is like, oh, I know which way he's going to go because he can only go so far. But they've done a better job of making sure that they're more in the middle of the floor. The defender is all that good stuff. Irvin, 3 no good. 25-14 here. Game number 4 of the opening round, the opening day of March Mascot Madness. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you're having a good old time. I know I am, because I enjoy doing this stuff very much. 25-16. So watch him pass. He's going to pass back, or he'll just run. Right there. That's where you got to get it up the floor. That was a bad pass. We've seen that a lot. That's been a weird quirk in this game. They'll be about a step away from the midcourt line, and they'll panic and go, I got to get rid of this ball, and I got to get rid of it now, and then throw an interception. So there we go. He's in the middle of the floor. Pass back. Kick it up. Okay, that was my bad. That was a bad call. West to Whitney. I think the trouble there was, for whatever reason, the Beavers keep running they have 2 people streaking up, moving up on opposite sides of the floor. They keep pulling one guy over, so there's just a big cluster, and it's awful. Missed shot, put back, 25-20 at the end here of the first half. Was as many as 11 for the Oregon State Beavers. They have seen that lead slide down to 5. Major picking up the ball. Whitney picking it up. Passes to Lawrence. Lawrence driving around. Looking for some room back to Whitney. 25-20 game. Opening moments of the second half. That's a nice play. The Beavers, that was the wrong play. What are you doing? Oregon State does not want to win this game. They're like, we really don't want to face California. There's a run. And the crowd is silenced. The lead may have actually just been as many as 9. As good as I am with numbers, and I feel like I'm actually very good with numbers, for whatever reason, 9s and 11s always give me trouble. So like it was 25-14 or 25-16. I think it was 25-16, so I think it was just 9, but I kept saying 11. So that's my bad. Sanchez back out to Irvin. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Louisville made them take so much time off the shot clock just trying to get the ball up because it ended up being a loose ball. And it just threw off the Oregon offense from the start. So here we go. Knotted up at 25. 8:30 remaining, second half. Working Lawrence around. Lawrence open for 3, and that is good. Big ol' run for the Louisville Cardinal, who have scored 13 points to Oregon State's, question mark? 2? There's a throw up the middle, up the floor. I was going to say the middle. I meant to say the right side of the floor. He just took too long to get it. So Oregon State, the wheels are coming off. The duct tape is not holding. And they have given Louisville a huge run. There you go. Floated over the top. Major. Backs outside. Got a guy open in the corner. Just missed that loose ball. It's a good kick out. That's a steal. And my goodness, it's just falling apart. I'm so tired of Louisville. 32-25. I don't know. I believe the score was 25-16, something like that. I'm pretty sure Louisville has scored 16 points. You got to throw the ball forward. Of course, the 10-second might actually not work. If the ball becomes loose, might not be a big deal. I mean, they were right there. There's a pass inside. Finally, Oregon gets some points on the board. Marshall steps out of bounds, so Oregon State will get a little turnover action. They'll throw it in from the side, and immediately threw the ball away. Immediately was like, I really don't want this at all. Lawrence, ooh, that was a nice pass out of that shot there. Found the open man, and my goodness, it is a touchdown lead here. Oregon State has started to fall for what I said they couldn't fall for, and they couldn't keep giving up turnovers, leading to easy points, leading to, you know, a big Louisville lead, a big Louisville run in this case. 5-point lead's not too terrible, but it is like they were up. Oregon State was up with a good chunk lead of a questionable amount of points, just because I don't know my math very well. But all of a sudden, Oregon State throws a bunch of turnovers. Louisville gets easy baskets, and very quickly it spirals from multi-possession lead to multi-possession deficit. And sometimes, especially when teams play Louisville, it can be really hard to see when the bleeding's going to stop. Looks like they may have patched it up for the moment. We'll see what the next 5:34 bring. Oregon State, you need a good defensive possession or two, depending on if you want to go for twos, you want to take a three. Whitney, float pass off the back rim. Nobody really wanted the ball. Finally get it. That's a nah. I was going to say a nice play. Ended up not being one, as that's an offensive foul on Oregon State. Just bullied that bird to the ground. Lawrence taking a two. That's short off the right side of the rim. One of the sides of the rim didn't work. Stripped the ball as he was going in the air, and a whole mess of situation happening over the last 10 seconds. So, under 5 to go. Almost into that double team strip animation that we see. That one, for whatever reason, is pretty easy to get out of for the computer. Looks like Oregon State's people playing a bit of a zone here. Go to Grant, back to Sanchez. Sanchez loses the ball. That's an easy basket for Louisville. They are still on a run, 38-31. This would be a more impressive comeback if it was literally any other team than Louisville. The only reason I'm annoyed that it's Louisville, and I'm not really annoyed. If Louisville's going to win, Louisville's going to win. It's two things. One, they've won the last 2 tournaments. 2, I hate watching them play basketball. I think it's just so boring. And I think the problem is that the opposing team doesn't play very well against it, and it doesn't really seem to matter. That's another steal. That's a big FU foul right there. That's a stop. Just shoving the back. So 40-31 here. Was a big Oregon lead, turned into a big... Somehow West came away with that ball. Somehow. Lawrence shot no good. That'll be up and in. Out of bounds. I looked away for like 2 seconds. I hear the crowd cheers in my headphones. Lead down to 11. Off the rim, no good. I wrote big OSU lead, arrow to big Louisville lead, bad game. When you're looking for the best, when you're looking for the best of the best, this is not that. Oregon State has 3 minutes to make it something interesting. That's where you kick it up front. You don't bounce past it. That's where you maybe kick it up to the forecourt. You don't throw it back. You're going to get a 10-second violation, or just throw it to the man in the middle. Come on. This is infuriating. They get so cute back in the backcourt. Oh, to you, to me, to you, to me, to you, to me. Throw it up the floor. When you have the guy in the middle, who looks like usually it's a center, and you have him baited one way, throw it quickly back up. Don't give him an opportunity. Zip, zop, zoop. Come on. All right. Richardson gets some points. It's an 11-point Louisville lead. They will head home to face California in the second round, should this lead stand. And I don't really see much of a reason that it won't. Oregon State can barely get up the floor. Louisville said, you know what, we're up big enough. We don't even have to worry about it. You can have it. We don't care. Get to the forecourt. Whatever. Enjoy it. 3 from Oregon State is no good. (50-35). So it is a 15-point lead here with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. My goodness. Oregon State has scored 10 points in the time that Louisville has scored about 40. 35 maybe. I mean, even looking at the second half stats, it's going to be Louisville, what, 30? Boise or Oregon State, 10? I don't know why I keep thinking Boise State. I have no idea. Probably just the like beaver brown and the horse brown and a lot of orange. A lot of orange. My brain just completely broke there. There's a nice putback. Still down 15 with 41 seconds to go. Louisville will have to put up a shot before this game is mercifully over. And I stress about, do we have a third time that Louisville is champion? And at what point do I just kick them out? Just say, look, you're ruining the fun for everyone. I hate watching you play basketball. I'm tired of it. Get out. Five-second violation. Not that big of a deal. That we're going to have to take a shot anyway. Why? Why was that your decision? There was a wide open beaver right in front of you, and you said, I'm going to go all the way. Go long! It was exciting at the start. It's not exciting anymore. 52-37 is your final score here. Louisville blowing the doors off of Oregon State there really quickly as that score gets submitted. Let's go ahead and take a look at Stats Central. We don't do this very often, but I am curious here. You can kind of take a look. Current game, first half was 25-20. Oregon State had a 5-point lead. Things were starting to fall apart a little bit at the end of the first half. 32-12 in the second half is atrocious. 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals for Louisville, 3 blocks, no fouls. Oregon State had 12 total turnovers. They shot 77% from the field. Man. Just bad. Just bad. Well, we'll see you in September, Oregon State. Now, unfortunately, we'll see you, I believe it's 2 weeks from today for good old Louisville. Here we go. We have game number 5 coming right up here. Because I took a break a little bit ago, I'm actually going to delay it just a smidge. But before we get into game number 5, which is Oregon and Auburn, I'll give myself a better Auburn. Oregon, Auburn, Ducks, Tigers. Back-to-back Oregon schools, one at home, one on the road. Before we get into the next portion of the tournament, let's take a look at the predictions. We have 6 predictions that we are working with at the moment. And we have Matt out in front, the Beeb tied for first. The only difference is the score potential, 188 to 184. We have my brother, the Fart King, with 1. Me, Pickosaurus, at 1. Go Cougars at 1. And it's a guessing game with 0. Go Cougars took a really big hit. And I took a pretty big hit as well. Let's see. A couple of Final Four teams are gone. I think actually maybe just the one. Doesn't matter. So that's what we're working with. Scores should get bigger as the thing goes on. I believe that's how I said it. If I didn't, I done goofed, and that's just how it works. Normally at this time I will take a little bit of a break, but I did just get up not too long ago, so not super worried about it at the current moment. But we are working with it's tight. Best is 50%, worst is 0%, and most people are sitting at the 25% correct so far. So let's move on. This is game number 5 here. We have the Oregon Ducks traveling all the way down to Auburn to meet the Tigers. This would be a marquee football matchup, though I don't know if many people would care about it in the basketball sense. With how well they play. All-American, 10 minutes. You know how it runs. But just in case you don't, or you're new, or you're joining, or this is a breakout video, that's what we're working with. While this game loads, I will take a drink of water. Here we go. We have the Ducks. We have the Tigers. Oregon is one of the weird schools that in 09 wasn't there, but for some reason in 07 is. But Cincinnati, a team that wasn't in 09, is also not in this game. So it's odd. Happy to see Oregon here. Bummer that we don't get Cincinnati, but sometimes you gotta make a sacrifice. And unfortunately, the Cincinnati Bearcats were that sacrifice. So we have a couple of teams that have weirder records, and a couple of teams that have only been in one tournament that have still more wins than the Cougars, who have appeared in all 5 of them. So we are in SEC country as Underwood nails the 3, and Oregon is off to a hot start, 5-0. I'd like to see the Ducks win. Actually, I like this matchup quite a bit. Pantsless Tigers, pantsless Ducks. Oregon, much more known for their football program, very well known for their women's basketball program, specifically Sabrina Ionescu. I also like Satu Sabli a lot. Those were fun players to watch. Hopefully they're doing well. I don't know when the WNBA comes back. I should look into that. Unfortunately, Ionescu got injured when they were doing their bubble season, and she didn't get to play very much. But I do know the Sabli plays on Dallas, though I don't believe she's a starter. Maybe she was towards the end of the season. I'm not really sure. Everything was all gummed up. It was all weird. Hughes in the front court. Nothing doing for him. He'll get fouled. He'll go to the line. Shooting 2. First one's good, 6-2. I did tweet out that, man, I wish that the WNBA jerseys were available without the logos all over them, because, boy, do they look awful. I'd love a Satu Sabli. I'd love especially a Sabli, because the Dallas, I think it's the Wings, have fantastic colors, And I like the New York Liberties, like, kind of mint green that they got going on, but there's just so many, like, I don't need this branding all over it sort of thing. Not even in, like, a WNBA stance, but just in, like, a Liberty Mutual. Like, I don't care about Liberty Mutual. I just want to support the player. Oh, my goodness. Steal from the Tigers. Excellent defense here by Oregon to make sure that they at least force a tougher shot. 7-4 here. Couple of float passes inside. It was a little float pass to quick pass. Very effective on the offensive end. That's one of the more popular plays. In addition to the baseline run with the three-point specialist, that is very effective. 2 quick passes inside. Typically, you're going to get around the defense, and you'll get some easy points. Oregon running the other popular play, but scoring a 2. So, very nice game we have here. 9-6, Oregon leads. 2.5 gone here in the first half. We're halfway done with the first installment of it's an 8-part series. And I think I might do something fun in June. I might. We'll see. I might do some testing. I need to do some testing with it. But I have a fun idea that I might do in June. Won't really count towards the overall stuff, but I think it'll still be fun nonetheless. But let's focus on the game here, because I feel like I haven't talked about it a lot. I've been more focused on WNBA jerseys. There's a nice shot there. Oregon on a nice little run here, 11-6 through the first 3:20 of the game. Underwood coming up with a pass from the loose ball steal. As the Ducks try and drive inside. Pass back out. Underwood again. Double spin move there. Nice tip. Oh, couldn't quite get enough mustard on that one. Quick pass to the right. McConnell. It's up. He's in. The Auburn Tigers looking for a 3-point play. 3 the hard way. Cut this lead down to 2. So, first team foul on Jamal Underwood. Finally kicked the ball in. That took a very long time. We're seeing some, like, kind of, don't call for the ball if you're out of bounds, Oregon. There's a nice shot there, 13-9. We're seeing some interesting kind of halvesy. We're kind of full court pressing, but, like, not really. Louisville is the only one who's really done it effectively and consistently. Les Kentucky did it a little bit as well. But Louisville is one of the teams that sticks to it the most. Maybe it was Duke. There's a little mid-range 2. That was short. It was a terrible, I'm going to put that back attempt. Just very late on that. Bounce pass inside. There's a nice shot. So it was 13-8. Or 13-9, excuse me. A couple of quick shots from Auburn, and they're right back in it. Not that they were ever out of it, but we do have a tie game as we approach the halfway point of the first half. Underwood looking for that open shooter. Good job for Auburn on the defensive side there to make sure he doesn't have a wide open shot, at least somewhat contested. Rankin try to drive inside. Throwing over to the left. Gooden. And that's a foul. And that weird head movement looked very strange. Very, very strange. Shot is up. Shot is good. And we're looking at a 14-13 game here. 5:07 gone. 4:53 remains. That's what that adds up to. A missed free throw is what happens next as Auburn brings the ball to the forecourt. McCreary to Whitehead. Whitehead spin move inside off the left. No good. Cotton jams it home. Cleans up the whole mess. Puts Auburn in the lead. I believe that's their first lead of the game. Oregon started strong. Had a little bit of a A little bit of a cold spell going on here. Can tie it on this shot. He does. Successful basket. Hughes shooting 1,000 from the free throw stripe. That's what you like to see. You also like to see that. 16-15 with 4:27 remaining. Don't forget, if you're tuning in, three things don't forget. One, these are all the matchups that we're working on. You can check the bracket down below, see what all the scores and future matchups are looking like. That's number one, and actually number two was that second part. Number three, stick around after the basketball for a special presentation of Rango. 10th anniversary coming up after the game. I'll wrap this up. We'll take a short break, probably 10 minutes or so, and then we'll jump into that. As Oregon drives inside. 17-16 here. There's a nice shot from Oregon. Rattles around the rim a bunch. Andrews comes up with the offensive rebound. Didn't put it up immediately. Underwood's going to try and do the same offensive rebound. He puts it up immediately and is rewarded with 2 points. 18-17. Lead swings back to Oregon. Auburn quickly regains the lead. 19-18. So nice back and forth game here. Oh my goodness, Hughes broke that man's legs. But he was throwing it in. Kind of baited the double team inside. And then tried to pass it quickly outside. That's a great example of the feet not quite being right. He clearly stepped out of bounds, but the foot was just actually inside. Just the way it's mapped or whatever. Auburn has some of the bigger feet as well, so some of their stuff will look like it's a 2, but it actually is a 3. It's a legit 3. Oregon picking up a foul here. Look at an offensive foul. So 21-19 here, and that's a backcourt violation. That's a dumb pass. It's just a dumb pass. All right, ball gets kicked in. Owen driving around, working it inside. He's into a double team. Rattles around the rim, drops 21-21. 2:40 remaining first half. This feels like this game's been a little bit slower, but it's been more efficient. So far today, we've seen a lot of games that they've been fast-paced, but they've been brickathons. This one feels like we're getting a lot of quality shots out of these teams, even if it's taking them an extra, 5 seconds of possession on average. Oh, speaking of efficiency and lack of efficiency, we've seen 3 missed shots from Auburn. They finally get one down. I moved my arms, and I didn't know how to get to the scratch I had. This would probably have been more the way to do it, but now I've turned all my headset on now. So 25-23 here, under 2 minutes to go, first half. We're seeing a substitution from Auburn. I love having the names on the bottom. I think it helps a lot. Normally it gives a little more interesting commentary. At least there's some names you can put there instead of, over to the left, back to the right. Him. Granted, a lot of it is just like McCurry passes it to the left, bounce pass inside. Speaking of bounce passes to the right and inside, Gooden's getting it, breaking a man's ankles. He's into a double team. I would kick to that duck that is wide open. Not the duck that's stuck between 3 tigers. The duck that was behind you that was unbelievably open. Underwood's going up for 3. That one's going to be short. Not a great play on his part. It's going to give Auburn an opportunity to run here. That was a nice draw of the double team. And that tiger, they had no idea he was back there. Free and clear, easy 2 points. as we're working down to the 60-second mark. Oregon down 2. Looking Underwood way too far for a 3. He'll take it. That's a deep 2. And we have a 27-27 game. By the way, making great time on this stream here. Streams run every Thursday and Friday in the month of March, starting at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And then we'll have a little shorter stream right afterwards. I have some cool stuff that we'll be checking out. Today it's Rango. Tomorrow we have Kill It With Fire. We have some stuff next week as well. We finished up the grab bag season next Friday. And I have a cool thing hopefully coming in. Hopefully, fingers crossed it gets here in time. That I'd like to check out. I will come up with a backup just in case. Underwood, another one of those super deep 2s that he's going for. So, yeah, check back every Thursday and Friday throughout the entire month of March. 2 p.m. Pacific time. That shot is off. Adams couldn't get the shot up. And we're heading to halftime. I believe it's tied, 29-29. It is. Auburn gets the ball first. 10 more minutes of basketball action here for the Ducks and the Tigers. Winner moves on to play the winner of Nebraska and Tennessee. If the game ended now, it would be Auburn. Yeah. And then video uploads of this go up 6 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday throughout the month of March. Fortunately, March and September this year both have like 4 weekends and 4 Thursdays and Fridays, so I can make sure that it's all like, cool, this makes sense. I'm not starting March Mascot Madness in February, which I would have had to do if I had my old streaming schedule, but because I have a different streaming schedule, I'm able to do it all in March, which makes me feel very good because I'm very annoyingly picky about that, I would say. 34-31, 1 minute gone here. Oregon has scored the last 5 points after Auburn scored the first 2. There's a nice 3, splashed at home. Wasn't exactly sure what he was going to do there. Looked like he had in the corner to drive to the lane and get a 2, but instead, just popped out. Hey, I'll take the 3, no big deal. That sounds good to me. That is a just smashing block from the Auburn Tigers. They're going to pass it over to the right. That's Whitehead to pass it back to Owen. He'll bully a Duck down to the ground. McCreary to McConnell. Inside to Whitehead. Get off of me. Jams it home. It's 5 points in a row for the Auburn Tigers. 36-34. We got a good one going here. So far, all the games have at least been competitive. Well, minus the Louisville game, but it at least started interesting. And even the games that maybe kind of ended a little dudley, they were pretty good for most of it. There's an excellent block from Oregon. No one wanted the ball. Goodwin finally came up with it. Hughes, he had the ball. Kind of just ran a couple of Ducks down into the area. Not a whole lot going on. Gooden liking that 3. Ooh, just couldn't get it off the back iron. That was an excellent opportunity for Oregon to take the lead. I almost said first place, which technically would be correct, but is also not correct at the same point. Yeah, that's off the left iron. No good. Gooden coming up. Passes to Hughes. Was right at the midcourt line. Back to Gooden. Gooden pump fakes. Passes to Underwood. Underwood been quiet here lately. There's a bounce pass into Rankin. Rankin or Franklin. I believe it's Rankin. It's a nice shot by him. Sweet pass over the shoulder. Didn't even look at it. Said, you just... Woo! I trust you. There's a short 3. I like that shot, though. They're being aggressive. I appreciate that. Having to watch that Washington State game where they just would not take 3s. It's nice to see teams just go like, you know what? We're putting it up. Putting the rock up. McCray. Dribbles around the outside here. Looks like we have everybody manned up on the Oregon side. Oregon kind of ran into each other there. McConnell, if he catches that closer to the three-point line, probably has an option. Excuse me, probably has a good look at a three. Instead, drives. Whitehead gets the ball in the interior, gets fouled, and Whitehead will go 2 for 2 from the line. All right, so Auburn kind of working with the full court defense again. Just one screen, and you're able to get past it pretty easily. We've seen some offensive foul calls on that. Good splashes home a three. Seen some, not on that one, but then the animations look pretty close. So it is a little surprising when you see an offensive foul call on it, where you're like, all right, kind of let that go all game, and now you're going to call it. Criticizing digital officials in a mascot basketball game, but hey, it is what it is. Hughes bringing it up. Oregon up 343-40. Underwood, that's probably going to be a 2. Just kidding, it was a 3. The feet tricked me. Oregon and Auburn both have big feet. McCrary. I feel like if it was McCreary, there'd be an E in there somewhere. Please don't knock your notebook down, Sean. You so don't need to do like that whole thing. Nice defense by Oregon. No. Instead, I drop my soda lid. I drop a lid, they drop a 3. Works like that. Auburn cut the lead down by a whole 50%. 46-43. Underwood on the left side here. Bounce pass into Rankin. That's what it is. That's a nice little jump shot there. Maybe a little bit of a hook shot in there, but a nice flip regardless. Gooden, another 3. 51-45. Oregon looking good from beyond the arc. 4 minutes remaining. Auburn still plenty of time, and when you're making plays like that, thankfully he made the shot. I said that like a little too early. When you're making plays like that, you'll have an opportunity to come back, and then he misses it, and you're like, well, if you make it, 4 points is not too much to overcome. 6 points isn't even that much to overcome either. We've had some shots from 3. Underwood, that's going to be out of bounds. Again, tricky to tell, but not that big of a deal. All right, Auburn. Got to take advantage here. Either way, you're cutting into a one-score game. I don't think there's much of a reason to go for a 3 here, personally. Nice drive to the basket. That was an excellent defensive recovery, minus the foul. I like the aggressiveness. I like that he was able to at least try and affect the shot somehow. It's, probably an okay foul just because of the length of time that we have left here. The problem is that he let the basket drop instead of making sure that he, didn't. You want to go 2 from the charity stripe. You don't want just 1. Because that means he made it. Or you got a technical. Hughes driving inside, back outside to Gooden. Gooden, 3, big 3 there. So it turns out that three-point play, was a little more important than I thought it was. 54-50. We got a good one. McCray into Cotton. Back to McCray. Oh, short off the right iron. Look good. Like what they're working with here. Let's see what Goodwin does this time around. He's had a couple of 3s. Stripped the ball. Nothing doing there. Oh my goodness, Oregon. Jamming it home. Slamma, jamma, jamming it home. Cotton off the right iron, no good. Or maybe it was the back iron. Either way, it was a little too strong. Nothing doing there. Goodwin driving all the way inside, and it is 58-50. Not time to panic for Auburn yet. I'd say they have 106. Cut this lead in half. The three. I like it. I like the aggressiveness. Whitehead got to put that back. Got to get the put back there in that scenario. Goodwin has been their go-to. There's something wrong with the animation on the head. I don't know what it is, but that's the second time when they get into that like stumble animation after a contact basket, or like that kind of like foul sort of thing. The head looks all weird. It's very odd. Oregon getting three-point play the hard way. And it is quickly getting out of hand for Auburn. Still time. You have 47 seconds. You need fewer sweet passes like that and 6 points in the next 40 seconds. One good stop. Driving inside. Over to Cotton. Maybe not that kind of three. Maybe that's not what you're looking for. And yet again, just a team just kind of runs out of gas. Oregon's played very well, but I look at Auburn and especially their failure on the missed rebound or missed free throw rebound, giving up 2 extra points when they could have only been down 9. I think that was kind of more the nail than anything. Just haven't really been able to get it in the basket, and they've had some threes just not go their way. Even a couple of offensive rebounds that they haven't been able to tip in. McCray stepped out of bounds. So again, we have another really competitive game. Auburn just ran out of gas. So that will unfortunately do it for Auburn, but good job. Congratulations to Oregon. They will be moving on to the second round here with a 61-50 should score hold victory over the Tigers. Owen's going to drive into a double team, kick back out to McCrary. McConnell inside. That's 2 off the rim. No good. That was the story down the stretch. Tip-ins just wouldn't go. Couldn't get the putbacks. They were never in a position to try and foul and extend and time out the game. And unfortunately, they fall at the hands of the Oregon Ducks by a score of 61-50. So we'll go here, we'll go Oregon, go to 61, a hot 50 for Auburn. Confirm that the winner is indeed Oregon. We will submit the scores, and the Ducks will move on to face either Nebraska or Tennessee. 3 more games here. This is breezing by, flying by. I was talking about it the other day with the Beeb, but I was telling her, I was like, man, it's super daunting. It's super daunting to be like 64 games, 32 hours of streaming and content. 8 parts, like all of this stuff, like it's just is so much, 8 4-hour parts. Oh my goodness. I was like 8 something. Why is it 64? And it's not. All right, here we go. Game number 7. We have Nebraska in EB. The Cornhuskers, this ugly thing, taking on Tennessee. There you have it. Another top 25 ranked team. We're going to Knoxville? That doesn't sound right. Not 100% sure where they play. It doesn't matter. Cornhuskers, Volunteers, coming right up here. We'll get a look at it in a second. Thompson Bowling Arena, Knoxville. Okay, Knoxville, Tennessee. Every time I see Tennessee, I think of the Jackass sketch where Johnny Knoxville returned kicks against USC. And he's wearing a Tennessee thing, and he just gets obliterated. But there you go. You have your look at the what we're working with. We're working with 10-minute halves. We're working with All-American difficulty. We're just watching these games and enjoying them. Hopefully you're enjoying them as well. This is game number 6. I feel like I said 7 earlier, but it definitely is number 6 of the day. Got another hour and a half. Hopefully you are engaged and enjoying it. Bounce pass over to Davis as we have a little red here. Back to Franklin. Ben Franklin, wow. Ketty. Back to Franklin. Stepped out of bounds. Okay, cool. Great. Excellent start if you are if you're a Cornhusker fan. I like on this this court they have the Tennessee and the Lady Volunteers logo as well. Mainly because it's the Pat Summit court. I believe they call it the Summit because she's one of the, if not the most successful college coaches. I think she's like top 2 as far as the women's are concerned, and I think that she's still like very highly ranked, even if you include the men's side. Also widely beloved. People seem to like her a lot. I don't know. Maybe shouldn't be talking out of my butt about Pat Summit like I follow Lady Vols basketball. Oh my goodness. A couple of misses there for Tennessee and the Volunteers. So we have a 2-0 game here. Tennessee got off to a good start. Nebraska, not so much. Stepped out of bounds, turned the ball over immediately. That time they make good. Do love the checkerboard in the end area. I like it on the football field. I like it on the basketball court. There's a nice shot there. 4-2. Tennessee leads. They have momentum. Which, momentum is a really interesting thing. Because it's like kind of a thing that like kind of exists, but like also like doesn't. But also, they keep re-implementing it into football games and college sports games. This momentum meter was in like NCAA football 2001. They took it away and then they brought it back in a later game. We're like, all new momentum meter. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This has been a thing you did this like 10 years ago. What are you talking about? What? All the way back in 2000 when I was playing Tennessee, Texas on a PlayStation 1 with my brother. Running a triple option most of the time. That must have been so boring to play against. But I also am like a very stubborn person. Like, if it works, why would I change it? Davis for 3 off the right iron. No good. Everett doing a sweet move. Right at the 10. Pryor working around the right side here. No pass to Mosley. Mosley trying to drive inside. Kicks back to Everett. Over to Salabasal. See how many players have the same name. And I'm sure they don't have the biggest pool in the world to pull from. There's a 3 for Tennessee. That was short by the like step and a half back he took. He took back. Step and a half he took back. I don't know how to say that correctly. Davis to Kenny, another block. That was a hard block. That went all the way up to the 3-point line, which is kind of surprising. Called that early. Let him go for the shot. Nothing doing. And Ben Franklin will go to the line. Knocks down a shot. We have a 9-3 game here. 3 minutes gone in the first half. Shot up and good. So 9-4. Mosley. Chen just a little short. Mosley gets the rebound, passes over to Pryor. Looks like the guy is calling for the ball out near the 3-point line. They keep it inside. They'll go ahead and score the 2. So 11-4. A little bit of a lopsided start to this game. That's a defensive foul. Tennessee never got set. So Salabasal picks up his first one. Tennessee picks up their second team foul here in the first half. in all of the first round games, in all of the games, in the first half, we have only seen once or twice a team hit the limit as far as fouls are concerned. But, man, you know when it happens, it happens. There have been a couple of teams that have had, like, 5 or 6 by this time, and then somehow they don't manage to get another one for, like, 5 minutes. And they, like, maybe pick up one toward the end of the game, or of the first half, excuse me. You're like, oh, my goodness, I forgot that they had so many fouls. I want to say Georgia Tech was one of them. It's somewhere in my memory banks. There's a nice shot from Nebraska, making a little bit of a comeback here. 11-8 was a 7-point lead, now down to 3. Getting some good bounces here from. Oh, you got to kick that to the 3. You got to kick that to the corner. Hard to argue when it's a made 2, but still. Kick inside. Oh, nice block there. Pryor passing to Everett. Everett up the floor. Tennessee's on a run, though I'm not really sure how. Maybe that's just because the momentum meter's full. I'm not 100% sure what that means. Typically when I think of a run, I think more of like, hey, they've scored the last 15 points of the game, which Tennessee has not done. Scored the last 4. Now the last 6. Salvasol was all by himself. There was nobody even remotely close on the defensive side. He had all day. He set up. He packed a lunch, unpacked it, ate all of it, then dunked it, and then got back up, cleaned up his mess, and the Nebraska was like, we'll get there. Don't worry. We have a touchdown deficit here. Two of the bigger schools, I guess you could say. I feel like they're lapsed powers in a football sense. Tennessee's like been good, and they play in the SEC, so they obviously they get way more attention just because they're in the SEC, and people are like, when's Tennessee gonna be a football power again? Peyton Manning, remember those days? And then people say kind of the same thing about Nebraska. It's like Nebraska used to be like a power football school in like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, and like hasn't been relevant in years. Minus their quarterback, Martinez. He was always fun to watch. But now Nebraska's in the Big Ten. And they were one of the big teams that was like, we'd really like to play football this season. Except for the whole pandemic. Don't worry about that. We just like to play football. And then they just kept getting beat. And it seemed like every time Nebraska would get beat, the other team would tweet at them and be like, hey, thanks for making sure we played this year. We really appreciate that. We really appreciate the opportunity to kick your ass. And it's great, because it's great. Maybe sometimes you should just shut up and listen, Nebraska. There's a great article about, like, Nebraska, who hasn't been relevant in however many years, is whining like they still are relevant. And they did. And now they're getting beat in basketball, 19-11. This is the biggest lead for Tennessee. The biggest lead previously was 7. Nebraska was able to cut that down to 3. Tennessee's been on a nice run here over the last couple of minutes to push it up to 8 now. 6. The 3, a little strong. Mosley, that really should have been there. Thankfully, his friend was there to put it back in. And it's back to 8. 21-13, under 3 minutes to go. Game number 6 of Mascot Madness, day number 1. It's exciting. It's very exciting. I simultaneously, I always get very excited about the tournament, but I always kind of like, I forget how much work it is. And it's not even like a ton of work. My goodness, it is a block fest for... Oh, wow, okay. Somehow that was a dunk. was a block fest for Tennessee for a solid 10 seconds. And then somehow Nebraska still came away with points. Blocked shot for Nebraska. And they'll work the ball down the floor, down 6. But I forget, like, there's a lot of parts to it. It's like, I got to make sure that I get the bracket up. I do the reveal video, reveal stream, which I do offline this year. So I do that, the bracket stuff. I do the best ofs. I do the hype stream. And every time I'm like, oh, cool, I should be able to do all of this, like, in a very tight window. And then I inevitably get overconfident in my ability to do it all in a very tight window. And I'm like, oh, God. Oh, God. But I was able to edit it, film it. I've gotten better at doing them. I was looking the other day. For some reason, I did a 4-hour hype stream. There were like a couple of them. Excuse me, by the way. I think there's 4 of them. 3 of them are right around 2 hours, like ish. Between like 1 hour and 45 minutes and like 2 hours and 15 minutes, somewhere in that general vicinity. One of them was like 3:58. I'm like, why? Why did I do this to myself? I think I just did like an entire tournament with like a 3rd place game or something. I don't know. Had an opportunity for a 23-19 game, but Nebraska couldn't come away with a 2. They, in fact, could not come away with any points. It remains a 6-point deficit. Tennessee is going to go to the line to shoot 2. Push their lead, hopefully back out to 8. Hopefully in their eyes, you know, that sort of hopefully. Back end is missed on the front end of the rim. So 24-17, 7 points. Remains the deficit. Nebraska off the rim, nothing doing. A couple of bounces, just couldn't get anything to drop. Shot clock is still going, though it is almost identical, and it also didn't matter. With that much time on the clock, regardless of if the shot clock was on or not, there was no way that they were going to hold for the final shot. We'll see what Nebraska does here. They will also not hold for the final shot. They will instead splash a 3 home. For some reason, Tennessee was like, we really need to make sure the ball gets up the floor as quickly as possible. 3, 2, 1. Kind of a weird shot there and a nice end for Tennessee. So 29-20 is your score. Being hailed to reply to a text message. Hold on, Tennessee. Pause. Not a pun intended. I mean P-A-U-S-E, not P-A-W-S. Kenny working it around. Franklin. That's a nice 3 there. Cuts the lead down to 6. Was 9. Now it's 6. Everett has the ball outside the corner. No good. Mosley, ooh, nice play there. Yeah, show off the muscles. Pat him down really hard. Hell yeah. That was a nice play. Nice play. So 31-23. We might have a game that's just kind of this deficit. No team never really goes on a run. The deficit is the deficit. Especially from the Nebraska side. They haven't really shown a whole lot to be like, we're going to make a super serious big run in this game. We're looking at an 11-point game. This happens pretty frequently as well. I've talked about it in the past of like, or earlier in the videos about teams kind of can't get over a certain hump. Sometimes we get stuck with games like this where it's just 11 points. They kind of they change leads. Maybe there's like a little bit of a run, but it very much feels like, while Tennessee has never seemed to be the dominant team, they have always had the lead, and Nebraska will never really pose much of a threat, if that makes sense. It's very similar to, can't get over a certain hump. They're not going to get past 6 points, As a 3 goes up and a 3 is made. Speaking of a 6-point lead, that's what we have now. But it also just doesn't feel like they're really serious about making any sort of run. Like Tennessee's, they've been leading the game. They've been playing very well, but it also is like they're more trading points back and forth rather than extending their lead or anything. I don't know if that makes any sense or is redundant or whatever, but we get these sometimes. It happens. No big deal. Franklin for 3. Ho-ho! My apologies. Sorry, Nebraska. You have closed the lead down to 3. Perhaps it is the type of game where Tennessee, though they've been dominant and have led a majority, if not all of, the game, which I believe Tennessee has led the entire way, we could have a situation where the Volunteer side just kind of lets the Cornhuskers stick around a little bit longer than they should. Cornhuskers get enough momentum. Tennessee gets flat enough. All of a sudden you have an upset, a comeback. Franklin, he was looking for that tie. Looking for the 3 and could not come up with it. I did not realize Tennessee scored on the other end. So 36-31 here. Pass over to Chen, back to Everett. Back to Pryor, or over to Pryor, I should say. I don't know if he's had the ball in this possession. Ooh, nice steal by Franklin. Franklin's kind of doing it all here. He's been making some shots on offense, makes that nice steal. Kenny is going to get fouled. No shots, so it'll be 2 from the line. No make, I should say. So he'll go 2 for 2 from the line. And we're looking at a 3-point game with under 6 to go here. Seems like this second half has been a little slow moving. Maybe it's just because it's not the most exciting game in the world. Nebraska providing very minimal resistance there on the old, defensive side of the ball. Tennessee with his nice steal there. Everett working with the ball. See what Pryor does here. See if maybe Tennessee says, hey, look, 5 points is as close as you're going to get. 3 points is as close as you're going to get. And we're going to start to go on a run here and really put this game away. There's Tennessee again making a nice play. 2 points. They'll look to push this lead out to 7. Third personal foul. They will not do that. Nebraska will take a timeout as that was the 3rd foul on that Nebraska player. Davis working around the outside. Throws it back over to the left to Kenny. Kenny to Franklin in the middle. He's been doing a lot over the last couple of minutes to keep Nebraska at least in this game. Have like a little bit of hope, but that hope might be slowly slipping away. You got a Volunteer kind of drifting towards the basket. Quicker pass on that, and maybe you get some points. Instead, now we have kind of a pass fest here. Pryor, that's going to be a 3-point play. That is a 3-foul shot. My goodness. First one's missed. Tennessee's been not great from the line. The second shot, though, is up and good. third shot, only 1 for 3, so not the worst foul in the world. By no means is that a good foul. I just want to point that out. When you can still be like, look, yes, I fouled him. He still only went 33% from the line. We only are down 8 instead of 10. It's not bad. What is bad is shooting the ball into a double team, and then that's just a free run. There was nobody there for Nebraska to clean up that pass. That is Salah Basal. He read that the whole way. That was a really great defensive play right there. Everett, that is a nice 3. And just like I was saying, not to pat myself on the back too much, but when you've watched 260 of these games, which is what I've done, you get like a certain feeling where you just look and you go like, Nebraska's never really threatened. They've done a good job at making it competitive for the most part. They cut the lead down to 6. They fall behind. They cut the lead down all the way down to 3. And then they just get obliterated. And all of a sudden, they've let 10 points in a row go, and they're down 13 points at the line with only under 4 minutes to go. They need to cut this lead in half by the 2-minute mark, and then probably a 1-possession game. I don't think they can really... Actually, with the way Tennessee's been shooting the ball at the free throw line, especially on that last try, defensive foul right here. We'll see what happens on this one, but 14 fouls. That's Kenny's first. That's a good shot. You might give him a little bit more wiggle room. Personally, like when I'm trying to get down to it and I'm playing, I like to be down 4, maybe 5, because you're still asking for a lot to go right for you. I think 3 is the ideal number. Nice block there. Tennessee diving for it. Somehow he missed that and Nebraska touched it, which makes sense just because a lot of times when you see the loose ball like that, the team that stripped it away dives for it, misses it, and the offense still retains possession. But that was very bizarre that did not qualify as out of bounds until the Nebraska player touched it. But now you're looking at probably too much to overcome here in the next 180, 192 seconds. Don't know why I said it like that. It's a little over 3 minutes. That's a nice play right there. Tennessee, though, only 1 for 2 on that from the line on that last set of free throws. So if you're Nebraska, you could maybe be down 5, 6, get some threes and try and trade 3s for 0s, 3 for 1s. As Tennessee's been a little rocky from the line. Again. I mean, in that scenario, my goodness, you can't do that. That was perfect. That was exactly what Nebraska wanted. A missed free throw to maybe try and help them get back into this game in some capacity. Davis, 3, that's bricked. Pryor running it. Going to take another pair of free throws for Tennessee. And this one is all but wrapped up. They're burning they're burning fouls on this, and they're not scoring points. So if it were to get to crunch time, they wouldn't have very many opportunities to steal the inbound pass. But at the same time, once you get to 10, it's 2 shots automatically instead of a 1-and-1. Just a couple quick passes inside. Nice play there. 15-3 to 39, excuse me. Two quick passes inside. Chen, little flip pass. Salah coming back and putting it up. And the defensive rebounds for Nebraska have been abysmal. Franklin, he was trying. Absolute posterization there. And it remains a 14-point game. Two quick passes inside. There's Mosley. That's a nice up and in. 16 points. And this one's over. So we'll go ahead and we'll write our notes here. Tennessee blowout. I don't believe there was any point in this game where Nebraska led. It was as close as 3, like 11-8, maybe 11-7, something like that in the early going. And then obviously it was 3 points in the second half, 36-33 or whatever. But since then, it's been a 24-10 run for the Volunteers of Tennessee. 60 seconds to go. As we just kind of wind it down here. This would have been a good contestant or a good option for a blowout book, but I don't have one available to me. Also, pretty sure that's not legal. 4-3. Shot is up. Shot is off the left iron. No good. Nebraska driving. Blocked. Pryor comes away with the rebound. 30 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. Tennessee can just dribble it out here. They'll throw it to Everett. Throw it over to Mosley. For some reason, they look like they're still playing the game, even though they are up 14. Get things ready over here on this screen. And we'll get 43 and 57 ready to roll. Tennessee is going to move on with a 14-point victory over Nebraska. 57-43. Tennessee moves on to face Oregon in the second round. We're going to get you set for the next game, and then I'm going to hop up and use the restroom real quick. Been drinking this water, which has been smart of me, but it also is making me have to go potty. We have a very yellow matchup coming up, yellow and black. We have Bumblebees taking on Iowa, the Hawkeyes. So we have Missouri. We have the Naked Tiger somewhere in here. There's a lot of MIs. The Naked Tigers taking on Iowa. So there you go. We'll be right back with more March Mascot Madness action here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to hop up and use the restroom, finish this water, and we'll be back in just a few. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying. See you in a couple. All right, everybody. Welcome back to March Mascot Madness number 3. This is day 1 of 8. We are on game number 7. We have the Missouri Tigers facing off against the Iowa Hawkeyes. I have refilled my water. I have emptied my bladder. Everything's good. We're good to go for the final home stretch, the final hour here of the first part of 8. So we'll get this game going here. Again, Iowa, Missouri, very similarly colored teams. Maybe if I was paying a smidge more attention, I would have switched these out. So let's see what kind of a commentating nightmare this is. We are going to the state of Iowa. We're going to Iowa City. Okay. All right. All-American, 10 minutes. You know how it goes. Go ahead and jump on in here. I was thinking about it while I was kind of up and about. So far, pretty good start. 4 of the 6 games have been pretty competitive. Only 2 of them have been blowouts. One of them, I would qualify the last game as the most blowout, and then the momentum swing and the wild change between Oregon State and Louisville was pretty surprising. Oregon State had a big lead early. That evaporated. They ended up falling by a large margin. Meanwhile, in this game, we have Missouri with the ball first here in Iowa. Big 10, Big 12 matchup. Missouri would be in the Big 12 at this point. They're in the SEC now, excuse me. We have Eric Crawford here, 0 points, because he just missed his first free throw. But the second one is good. So the kind of weird score of 1-0 The uncommon basketball score of 1-0 is what we are working with now. Weaver driving up to Puckett. That was a great play there. That was a nice find. There's a lot of clutter over on the left side of the court there between Hawkeyes and Tigers. And it's not as confusing as I thought it would be. There's one of them is like very clearly yellow and black, and the other one is black and yellow. So here we go. 1 minute gone. Puckett with the ball into Gilliam. Gilliam into a double team. Nice steal by Ramirez, who said, I'd like to walk out of bounds now. I have no interest in playing this game. I like defense. I don't want to score any points. We're leading. Let's just keep this going. Puckett back inside. Nice shot again by him. Actually, he made a nice pass earlier. Nice pass for Puckett earlier. Nice shot there for him. Richmond off the left side. Couldn't get it to drop. Gilliam up to Weaver. Weaver tries to spin move, but good defense by the Tigers off the back of the iron. No good. Kaiser jumped way too early, but still got the rebound anyway. Richmond working right side. Kaiser, he's on the right as well, leaning into what looks like no one or nobody. There's a defender behind me. I'm over here. Free throw is up and good. So Missouri retakes the lead. We have a 6-4 game with 8:20 remaining in the first half. Winner gets to play the winner of the Yosemite Sam-Off. Coming up next, we have UNLV taking on Texas Tech as the three is up. No good, though. Richmond, nice rebound there. Throws it up to Kaiser, who kind of just stopped, called for the ball, didn't get the ball, and said, I'm done. I'm done running. When I call for the ball, you throw me the ball, I keep running. If not, I'm good. Weaver, nice offense there for Iowa. Very bad offense for Missouri, who let that guy just go. Pretty uncontested. Cuts the lead down to 2. Missouri, nice pass inside. Push the lead back to 4. We have a pretty good paced, efficient game here. For the most part today, we've had some fast-paced, inefficient games and some slower-paced, more efficient games. The Auburn game springs to mind, a little slower, but they were actually making shots. Auburn, Oregon. A couple of games, it was just up and down the floor, brick, missed dunk, brick. That's a made dunk. We have the Tigers on a little bit of a run here, 12-6. Weaver driving around the left side, throws it into Gilliam. Gilliam to Weaver. Weaver gets around that defender up and in. So nice shot there by Weaver. Iowa keeping it close, you know. He says with 3 minutes gone in the first half, you know, still a game, which is nice. Kaiser doing the same thing that Iowa did a little bit ago. Though Iowa has some better defense. Flies it forward. Could not pick a word. Flings it. Floops it. Rockets it. Any of those would have made better sense than farts it forward. Gilliam misses the first free throw. Second free throw is also no good. So 0 for 2 from the line for the Iowa Hawkeyes. That was a great opportunity to cut it down to at least a 1-possession game there. But unfortunately, it's a 2-possession game still. Same kind of play we saw the last time. Missouri went down the floor. This time it ends in a foul rather than just a missed shot or a block shot or a steal. I guess turnover would be appropriate. Barry is coming on out, and he has picked up his second foul, so he'll go sit. Probably won't see him for the rest of the first half. There's a nice play by McCray there. Just couldn't get the basket to drop, but a good offensive rebound. Oh, Ramirez took about 2 steps too many. unfortunate. That was a beautiful run. That was a beautiful route by him, but just a little too much momentum. He had all the open space he could have had, or could have wanted, excuse me. Richmond elects not to pass to the Tiger. The Tigers, Ramirez, sets up the screen. Nothing doing there. Kaiser over to Richmond. Richmond's got 2. Richmond with a 3. Short off the iron, no good. Crawford with the rebound. Defensive foul. Defensive foul, not out of bounds. That is 14 fouls on Iowa. I said in the last game that we don't typically get a lot of fouls in the first half. It's more of a second half thing, obviously, with trying to catch up and stuff. But Iowa, I'm pretty sure, was one of the teams that just, Iowa or Iowa State, one of those two, was just like fouling non-stop in the first half. They actually ended up in the bonus. It's like, wow, this is the first half. Kind of surprisingly, that was just an out of bounds, not a foul. So Missouri has benefited from some calls, and Iowa has been in similar positions of maybe getting some of those calls. It hasn't been 100% even. That's not necessarily, an indictment of officiating in a digital video game, but at the same time, that's what makes it so difficult with those out of bounds or shot or defensive fouls behind the backboard. It's just, they look so similar. Puckett into Claret. Claret, he is going to get a nice roll there to drop the basket. Drop the bucket, I should say. Shot is off the right iron and does drop. So 15-11 here. 4:49 remaining in the first half. This is game number 7. We got one more game for you today. But lots more action coming up throughout the month of March, Thursdays and Fridays on Twitch, Saturdays and Sundays on YouTube. If you miss a part on Twitch, you can watch Saturday and Sunday on YouTube, and you'll be all caught up for the next part on Thursday. But also, if you just want to watch the whole tournament over on YouTube, that is totally fine too. There's a nice 3 by Iowa, and they've cut this lead down to 3 now. They have a pretty good game going. Missouri's been up by as many as 9. 7 was it? 16-7, something like that. That is way too easy for Iowa. Iowa building that momentum back up. Iowa down 1. Finds Riggs. Nice pass to Ramirez. That was a beautiful feed to Ramirez, who was streaking toward the basket and just put it in. Nice play. Shot off the left iron, no good. But a nice jam home will put Iowa within 1. So Iowa made sure to stick around in this game. Looked like it might start to get a little out of hand for the Hawkeyes. The Tigers were playing very, very well, and the Hawkeyes weren't playing very well. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a defensive foul. And especially with the way that the Hawkeyes have been missing free throws. As Missouri misses a free throw there. Doing Iowa a favor. Missing 2 free throws. All right, so I guess it's about all even now. That's an excellent block. Goaltending. Technically touched the ball twice, but only once was legal. 20-19. Iowa has the lead, by the way. It's either their first lead of the game or it's been a while. Missouri got on the board first with that with the free throw, I believe. I say it with such confidence, and then I think about it. I'm like, oh, is that what happened? Did that happen? Weaver drove inside, just jumped a little too far. I see a lot of issues with the baseline bandit strikes again. Now Iowa is employing a full court press here. Missouri threw it right to him. Needed to throw it a little more to the right. Instead, he threw it right in the middle. Nice block by Missouri there. That was 3 defenders going on there. Gilliam sliding around the outside. Defensive foul on Missouri. Bucket with the ball. Going to substitute on the Missouri side of things. Weaver. Nice steal there, excuse me. That's a foul. Missouri will go to the line. I'm sure Iowa's not super worried about it because they missed their last 2 free throws. Now their last 3 free throws. Last 4 free throws, the putback saved them on that one, but not good. 23-20. Just atrocious free throw shooting from both teams, but more so Missouri with those last couple of rounds of shots. Kaiser. Into Crawford. Crawford back out to Pace. Pace, that's a 2. Doesn't really matter what it was. Didn't make it, so it's actually a 0. Puckett, drive it inside. Got a wide open guy up at the top. McCray, not maybe the best pass. It does give Iowa the lead, 24-23. We like to see a little more aggression there. Kick out to the 3-point shot, not just the 2. Kaiser, though. Bounce pass into Riggs. Riggs working one-on-one here, now one-on-2. Trying to drive, find some room. We'll draw a foul. That is team foul number 7 for Iowa. If Iowa fouls in any capacity in the next minute and 13 seconds, the Missouri Tigers are going to the line. Who are one of their last 6 has gone in. Nice rebound by Claret there. And Iowa has a 2-point lead. 1 minute to go. First half of action. Iowa's got to be very careful here. Even a reach-in is going to send them to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Nice defense there. Didn't draw the foul. Affected the shot. No points were scored. Richter to Weaver. Weaver, circus shot. Doesn't have enough mustard on it. Falls off the right side of the rim. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. 14 fouls for the Missouri Tigers. Bounces off the rim, the backboard, and drops through the nylon. 3-point lead, 44.1. Second shot up and good, 28-24. Kaiser working on the left side. Bounce pass into Crawford. Crawford dancing around over the Iowa defender. Nice shot and drops there. Clock is running under 30 seconds to go. Shot clock off. 2-point lead on Weaver. Richter, left side, inside. Quick passes into Claret. Claret jams it home. Push the lead back out to 4. Iowa big swing here in this first half. Down by a lot early. Not exactly sure what the score was, but it looked like Missouri was off to a very good start. Again, just a complete lack of defense on either side. 3. Splashed home at the buzzer for Iowa. They will take a 5-point lead into halftime, and they'll get the ball. Puckett, Polson, he is feeling it, looking good out there on the floor. Weaver fading to his left, nothing doing there. Pace picks up the ball. Kaiser dribbling, driving, pulls back out. Crawford, Pace inside, scores 33-30. Just when you was kind of thinking like, oh God, is Iowa going to get knocked out of this game pretty early? They come storming back. They have the lead. They've pushed it as high as 5. And that's right back to where it was. 5 points, 35-30. Now what can Missouri do to get back in front here? They need 5. They also need to clean up their free throw attempts. They got so many free throw attempts, and they were not able to put nearly enough of them down. When you go 1 for 6 from the free throw line between 3 trips to the stripe, that is awful. That's the difference. That's the difference in this game as an offensive foul is called. Nice take for the Iowa Hawkeyes there. Richter with the ball, working it up the floor to Weaver. That was pretty close to the midcourt line. Almost a backcourt violation, but not really. Richter, nice feed, nice find inside. And I was really taking over here. So a 7-point lead for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who were down by at least this many in the first half. Pace, Ramirez. 16 on the shot clock. Working it around. Ramirez is going to take that shot. It's going to be short off the left iron. No good. There were 3 Hawkeyes around. There was no one to even really attempt to get an offensive rebound. There had to have been someone on the floor. Puckett, that's a 2 if it goes. It doesn't, so it doesn't matter. The Pace bringing it up the floor here. Ramirez inside. Hook shots off the left iron. Really quick shot there from Ramirez. Maybe slow it down just a smidge to try and get yourself a little bit of a better shot before this game completely gets out of hand from you. 9-point lead now for Iowa, as the Tigers bring it up. Slice and dicing is a generous term for Iowa didn't really defend. Still not able to get points down anyway, or a basket down anyway, so that'll work for the Hawkeyes, who now have an 11-point lead. My goodness, what a change in this game. We're seeing shades of Louisville here. Louisville, Oregon State. One team has a big lead early. The other team makes a valiant comeback, but doesn't just make a valiant comeback. They just crush their opponents in the second half. Over to Richter. Puckett. 43-30. Nice shot there. Missouri just looks lost. Missouri looks lost, and they look like they are going to get tagged with a loss here in a first round elimination in March Mascot Madness number 3. There's a nice shot by Missouri to kind of cut into that lead a little bit. Still 11, still plenty of time. Plenty of time with 6.5 to go. Just got to clean up that defense a little bit. That's not what I mean. You need to clean it up, not let them score. It's a good time to remind you here with 6 minutes remaining in the second half and a kind of a blowout. Not totally done, but with the way Missouri's not scoring points here and taking forever, might as well be. Shot is off the right iron, no good. We do have a special presentation of Rango coming up after this. There'll be a little bit of a break as far as the content is concerned. We'll wrap this up, take a break. I'm gonna have to get something set, so you might see some weird stuff in the middle, but there's some preparation. I shouldn't phrase it as weird stuff. That's bad. Don't phrase it as weird stuff. But Rango special presentation celebrating the 10th anniversary of that fantastic film, coming up after the March Mascot Madness III debut. In a game that I'll probably be a little quieter while I'm playing, because boy does this take a lot. My goodness, the lead is up to 15. 15 points with 5 minutes to go. Missouri just absent in the second half. Weaver bringing it up the floor, up 13. 49-36, nice block, but just couldn't come up with the offensive, or the loose ball, excuse me. And it'll be a 51-36 game, so back up to 15. Missouri's not doing a great job at scoring points, and they're doing an even worse job at preventing Iowa from scoring points, but there's still time. 4:13. You have an opportunity here, but you gotta take advantage of it. That's a nice poke away to try and get at least something going. That's a nice block, but they can't get it. That's a nice miss, and they can't get the defensive rebound. And the Missouri Tigers, bad, very bad. 53-40. Cut to like 5 minutes from now, and it's actually a game, and I'm like, ooh, idiot! Remember when you said all that stuff? Two quick passes inside, off the right iron and the front iron, no good. He is right there for the putback. Unbelievably right there for the putback. Pace took a couple of steps too far beyond the arc to make it a realistic shot for three. Over to Ramirez. Kaiser, corner three, as the shot clock expired, nothing doing there. I don't think Missouri really did anything inside. The Tiger slipped on a banana, apparently. It fell hard. Defensive foul, Missouri ball. It's probably the first defensive foul we've seen from Missouri in the second, or from Iowa in the second half. They had so many in the first half, and then you just like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hard to believe you could be set up for a block easier than that. I mean, it's great defense, it's excellent timing. It's another free throw missed for the Missouri Tigers. Iowa kind of jumped into that, didn't really have a whole lot to do or anywhere to go. Let's pass inside to Crawford. Nice spin move. Lead down to 11, 2-10. Yeah, I mean, you got to cut into this quickly. Nice block. Again, Missouri's defense. Let me get my thoughts straight here. Missouri's defense is getting some blocks. They're forcing some missed shots. There's just never anyone there to clean up the mess, to clean up the loose ball, to get the turnover, to complete the process. And it's just awful, honestly. I don't think there's a whole lot they can do here. They're taking too much time. That's a defensive foul, so we'll say Iowa ball, trying to pick up an offensive foul. First one on that player, Kaiser. Second team foul this half. Kicks back to Weaver, kicks over and back. Richter and Weaver just playing pass me the rock. Now they'll involve Puckett. Richter, Weaver, Richter, Weaver, Puckett, Weaver, Richter, Weaver, Richter, Weaver, Puckett, Weaver, Richter. Hill drive fit. Claret. Weaver. Shot off the right iron, no good. Missouri to Ramirez. We'll float around the rim and drop for the Tigers. So 48, 57, 57, 48 is the score here. That probably should have been an intercepted pass. That Tiger looked like he was in pretty good position to at least try and deflect it or something. For some reason, they're going to try to foul, which I feel like would make more sense if the score was reversed. If Missouri was up and Ohio was behind, Iowa, excuse me. Iowa would be like, yeah, we can come back. They can't hit free throws at all. Pace picks up his first. Puckett throws the ball into Gilliam. First free throw is good, 10-point lead. There's no reason for Missouri to foul. Just extending the game for no reason. They go 1 for 2 from the line. There's a timeout. Good time to check an email. The buzzer finally sounds on this one, and your commentator is snapped back into attentive mode. 58-50. Pretty weird game, honestly. Iowa down big in the early stages of the game. Not only mounts a comeback, but just clobbers Missouri in the second half. So 50-58. We're good, ready to roll, submit the scores. Iowa's on to the second round. Now, we're going to go to Stat Central here for just a moment. Going to take a look at school stats. Shift tab. We are going to look at the current game. We're going to go down to the free throws, where neither team particularly good. Iowa 4 of 7, 57%. That's not what you want to see. Pretty small. Small sample size. Missouri, 6 of 14. 6 of 14. And keep in mind the deficit was 8. Even if they go 100% from the free throw line, you're still looking at a deficit of 3 points. But Missouri they also didn't make it 3 in this game, but at the same time, free throws could have provided a really big boost. 7 extra points, 6 extra points, even 5? At least gives them a chance down the line, or down to the wire. Or whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. Towards the end, down towards the end, I don't know. The point is, they missed a bunch of free throws. They also didn't play particularly well on offense. Not a great game. Not a great game. Especially if you're shooting 14 free throws. Which reminds me, I need to make a note here. Missouri was absent. Last up, we have UNLV taking on Texas Tech here. Conveniently close to each other. This water is running right through me. Yeah, it is time now. It's time. Hang on. It's time now. There we go. That'll hold on. Wait. Stop. Pause. It is time for the final game of the first round of March Mascot Madness 3. That's incorrect. First part, not the first round. There are 3 more parts of round 1, and then we're moving on. Anyway, it's the Yosemite Sam-Off. Here we have UNLV taking on Texas Tech. That'll be today's finale. Part number 1 comes to a close. We are going to Texas Tech's Stadium, which is in Lubbock, Texas. And we'll jump on in here. This was a matchup last time in the September tournament, and I don't remember who won. I'll be honest with you. We're 7 games down, 1 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. Oh, that's why. Oh my goodness. Holy, almost had a heart attack looking at my own bracket. Oh, the way that challenge scrolls sometimes, I was like, wait, this is only the 6th team? We have 2 more games to go? Oh, no. Speaking of oh no, Steve Baxter missed in his first attempt from the line. But again, we get the not as odd as it was earlier in this tournament score of 1-0. We've seen a couple of those here. That shot is missed. Hughes coming back with the jam. McCrary fighting kind of a half-court-ish defense. It's not the most exciting thing to see. McCrary, he is speeding down the lane. That is a quick get up. That is a quick step there. He'll get pushed around by his teammates there, and he'll go to the line to shoot an additional free throw, make it a 3-point play. So, 4-2, Texas Tech leads. We have the running Rebels against the Red Raiders. A lot of R's in their double-ended names. A lot of hats on the court. Basically, it's who is the Yosemite Samiest mascot in all of college basketball, with an asterisk behind that that's available in mascot mode in NCAA March Madness 2007 for the PlayStation 2. Ware backs around, looking for it. Bean driving inside. It's really unfortunate because the mascot mode is only available in the last gen versions of the NCAA March Madness, and those are only available on PS2 because people abandoned the Xbox for the Xbox 360 very quickly. However, the PlayStation 2 sold so well that it's like, well, we can kind of just update rosters and copy and paste, and we can make it work. We've seen EA Sports kind of evolve that into like a legacy version. Pardon me, across some of their the less powerful platforms, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and even the Switch getting, here's this Legacy Edition that's the same game you bought for $60 last year, that's $60 again. And people are like, well, no, that's not great. McCrary flips it up and in. UNLV had the lead briefly, but it is back to a Texas Tech Red Raider lead. Passes over to Sullivan. Bounce pass into Daniels. That's a foul and a shot. That's a nice play. He'll get pushed around and brushed off by his teammates, and that other guy looks like he's going to puke all over the floor. So a couple of fouls in the first couple of minutes for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Somehow that was not, oh my goodness, somehow that was not a defensive rebound. And somehow that was another foul immediately. Wanted to get in on the free throw action or the fouling action. Kevin Butts at the line here. And he'll go 1 for 2, but the tip in is missed. That's an offensive rebound and a jam. What a mess. Between 4 free throws, they got 3 total points, and one of them, 2 of the points was a jam. I don't know. That was a disaster. Baxter getting blocked and just absolutely annihilated. We saw that in the last game. He set him up so perfectly, and it was just too easy. Baxter can't handle it. UNLV comes away with the ball. Daniels has it. He didn't get the loose ball, but it was passed to him. Had a wide open guy on the right side. Not really sure why they didn't pass to him. Hughes inside, back outside to Daniels. Daniels looking for some room. Kind of bounces in, bounces out. Finds a little mid-range from his spot. Gets his own rebound because 2 other players missed it. And comes up with 2 points of his own. So 12-6. Quickly, UNLV is out to a lead here. And hopefully we don't have a dud of a game to finish today. Right before that last game, I said, wow, it's been pretty good. I'd say it's been, 4 4-2 good games to bad games. Now we're working with 4-3 good games to bad games. And Texas Tech is in danger of making this 4-4 even good and bad. There's a nice jam home. Hang on the rim there for a second. And Texas Tech just provided no resistance there. Just let it happen. There's McCray. McCray is very quick, and he's gotten inside a couple of times just off the dribble. Nielsen butts Hughes. And a nice score there. So there you have it. There's another up and in. And we have quickly an 8-point lead here with about 4 minutes gone in the first half. Texas Tech in danger of kind of just not making this much of a game. McCray driving inside again, drawing the foul. And I believe that's UNLV's. It's only their third. I actually had the teams flipped in my head. Texas Tech had a couple right in there. Marcus Hill is coming in for Kevin Butts, which is surprising because Butts has been doing everything for UNLV over the last couple of possessions. He's super quick. He has a great first step. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Texas Tech can take advantage of it. That's not a great start considering that's their fourth team foul. Front end no good. And getting a little bit of a blessing here with these missed free throw attempts. We're also getting I'm getting some Missouri vibes here. 17-11, 6-point lead. McCray coming up across, spin move, bounces off. Working around the left side, Bean to Ware. Ware looking for some room inside, not a whole lot to go, so I'll throw it back to Bean at the top. McCray is right there. Back to Bean. They were kind of on top of each other. They spread out. There's not really working inside. Let's kick out to Ware. There's a lot of bodies over on that left side. They're kind of trying to spread, but they look like a children's soccer game where they all huddle to the ball, and then the ball slips out, and then they all rush to the ball. It's another foul. That is the fifth team foul we have seen from Texas Tech. It worked out for Iowa, getting a bunch of fouls early. Nielsen off on the second. Offensive rebound by Daniels. 9-point lead for the red-banded White Hats. The black-banded White Hats need some help here. They need some better defense. They need to get some rebounds. Baxter up and in. That'll cut the lead to 7. Quick passes inside. That's not improving your defense. That is quite the opposite of improving your defense. That is leaving your bad defense the same. That's bad offense. AKA good defense, not great offense, not great defense. A couple of missed shots by UNLV, so the lead remains at 9. Bean passes to McCray. McCray working it around, trying to do something. Pass to Ware. Ware inside to McCray. McCray has kind of an open guy. Defender falls off onto him. He decides that he'll take care of it. And that is an intercepted pass. Nice play by UNLV. He remains cheering at the other end, which actually may benefit them defensively, which is surprising. He got the strip and just stood there and went like this. And then there was such a quick possession on the other end that he was accidentally in good position. Weird. 7-point lead here, UNLV. Hill kind of just working through the paper-thin defense that Texas Tech is providing. Another turnover. Pass into Nielsen. Nielsen somehow over the defender, able to get a rebound and drops. So, boy, oh boy. This game is getting out of hand quickly. Texas Tech, there's a three way short. They're turning the ball over. If Texas Tech were playing someone like Louisville, this game, I don't know if they would have any points. This game would be 49-0, 9 minutes into the game. Instead, what we have here is a 28-15 game. I'm gonna relax here, get back into the relaxed position. Most of my footrest, quote unquote, which is just a plastic bin below the table, sucked up by Mystery Bag Monday bags. So 28-17, Ware dancing around here. Back out to Bean. 11-point game. Ware. McCray, excuse me. They'll cut it down to 9. And then they'll just run the ball out of bounds, which is a surprisingly consistent thing that we've seen today. McCray kicks it over to Ware. Ware dribbling around to Baxter. Baxter's into two defenders there. McCray, 3-point specialist, tries to dribble inside. Not a whole lot of room to go. Not a whole lot of room for him to move. Working some kind of screen on the other side. Looks like they're doing that little play where you run the guy around the baseline. That ends up just being a brick and nothing. Instead, it's UNLV on a run. No points, but they'll go to the line to shoot 2. 16 fouls for Texas Tech, which is not good. What is good, though, is that UNLV is not doing a good job from the free throw line. We actually just saw this in the previous game. Texas Tech has 6 fouls in the first half, and UNLV just is not hitting the free throws. They should be up by probably 15 at this point. And we saw that in the last game with Iowa and Missouri, where Iowa had 7, I think, fouls in the first half. And in total, at the end of the game, Missouri went 6 for 14 from the line. And it was very surprising. They ended up losing by 8 points, which is the number of free throws that they missed. Tate to McCrary. McCrary, I don't know. That's a bricked shot there. 42 seconds to go. Nielsen on the fast break. That was a pretty good defensive play there, at least initially. None of the other Red Raiders showed up to help out and say, hey, buddy, don't worry. I'll get this loose ball for you. You're doing a bang-up job. You got bumped out of bounds. There's no way you can get your footing back to get this ball for us. Just let it happen. McCray, again, just doing everything he can here. Finally, he's back in the game. He was sat there for a bit. Nielsen, double quick pass into Hughes, who misses a dunk off the back of the backboard. No such luck for the Red Raiders to beat the buzzer there. They technically beat the buzzer, but they just couldn't make the shot. And the game will roll on. 31-23, 10 minutes left here in this game as the second half tips off UNLV with the 8-point lead and with the ball first. And it's a missed shot. So Texas Tech has an opportunity. Biggest lead is 11 for UNLV. McCray tried to get around him. That is the most bizarre freeze I have ever seen. That is so weird. Oh, there he goes. He kind of got around it. Usually the game locks up in that spot for whatever reason, but it's typically when a center has it and is trying to back down the defense. It's never been a guy trying to run around the corner. Off the side of the backboard, nothing doing there. So Texas Tech can take advantage of the missed shot from UNLV to try and get themselves a little more in this game. Instead, UNLV comes down the court, knocks down a 2. That's a just obliteration. No foul either way. Done. Ball got stripped away. Daniels comes up with it. Over to Sullivan. Sullivan to Daniels. Daniels up and in. We're looking at a 12-point lead. So new biggest lead for sure for the UNLV running Rebels. Red Raiders on the other side. Nice block by UNLV. Kind of surprised that wasn't a goaltend. But finally, Texas Tech able to get a good bounce on that loose ball. It's a defensive foul. First one we've seen from Texas Tech as a team. Baxter picks up his second. First free throw is good. 8:12 remaining here. And the second shot is good as well. So let's see. We have 8:10 remaining. It is a 12-point game. Let's see if Texas Tech can maybe cut this down. In 4 minutes, they cut it in half. They can get it down to 6. They're kind of working with something, get something cooking a little bit. I would say 6 points and possession of the ball in the next by the 4-minute mark. And then you can start thinking about maybe trying to cut it down even more by the 2-minute mark, and then Texas Tech can try and be 4 or 5 points down with 60 seconds remaining. Now, UNLV has not been particularly good from the free throw line, so you might be able to extend that number out a little bit as long as Texas Tech doesn't rack up a bunch of fouls. You might be able to extend that lead pointage out to like 7. Maybe they're only down 7. Because if UNLV is going to keep giving up missed shots, and you can trade 2s for 0s, 3s for 0s, then you're looking at a much more manageable comeback. So 37-29, 12-point game. Sullivan has the ball for the UNLV running Rebels. So he gives it to Daniels. Daniels is going to pick up a foul. That is number 2. 3 on done, but 2 for the team this half. Daniels misses the first one. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They'll have to get defensive rebounds and stuff. But I said 12 points, and it definitely was 8. You can't do that. That's a shot up, no good. Offensive rebound. Back up to 11. That's a bad 3-point span right there. That's a foul. No basket, but go to the line to shoot 2. Second foul on UNLV this half. That is the second personal. This has been a foul-heavy game. It's also been a free throw miss-heavy game as well. So what UNLV has. Texas Tech, if they're going to make any real run at this, has to clean up their defense. I know that's a foul right there. Third team, third personal for Baxter. We'll see him sit here in a second. But there's just no way that you can continue to miss defensive rebounds and keep giving UNLV second chances. They're so routinely outnumbered. 3-1, 2-1, 3-1 on UNLV players. For where they should be, they should have the advantage of 2-1. And they keep doing that. Texas Tech does not want to go to the second round. They saw what Iowa did to Missouri, and they said, no thank you. We're good. We'll try again next year. Fortunately, they're being gifted some misses from UNLV. There's a big 3. It's short. Offensive rebound, though, by Bean. No good. But still, still a foul. 2 shots from the line. Bean can't make it. Is his name Dean Bean? Daniel Bean? Why'd you spill your beans? Okay. Texas Tech, blessed to not come away with that come away from that possession empty-handed. Absolutely blessed. Not blessed on defense because they just can't stop. They couldn't stop a runny nose. They couldn't. You'd be better putting up inanimate bags of rocks than the Texas Tech defense right now. Which I guess kind of makes sense. Texas Tech doesn't play great defense in football because no one in the Big 12 plays good defense in football. Just like, yeah, 80 points, whatever, we don't care. 6-5 on the shot clock for Texas Tech. Bean into McCray. McCray with a nice shot there. Cuts the lead down to 8. Sullivan passes up to Nielsen. Nielsen working it around the perimeter. Passes to Daniels. Over to Sullivan. Just no defense. No defense. They chant that and Texas Tech says, what is that? This word I keep hearing. Defense. What does that mean? What could that possibly ever mean? Tate to McCray. McCray. Locked up. Pass over to Bean. Bean doesn't do a whole lot with it. McCray gets the ball back to Bean. They're playing Texas Tech player in the middle. There's a 3, and there's a buried 3. Leads down to 7. Almost got Nielsen to step out of bounds. The footing is a little weird on these character models. Nice pick by McCray. He is doing a little bit of everything here. Pass forward to Bean. Bean's going to pick up a foul. This is the shot, but he'll still get 2 opportunities from the line. Daniels picks up his third personal foul, 4th team foul. And that's the first shot down. 4 of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. There's still time. 5 points, 4:18 remaining. Kevin Butts is coming back in the game. Probably a huge reason that the UNLV team has been slipping. That is not even a joke. Butts has played very well in this game. So here we are. 4-minute mark. I had mentioned that I thought that they needed to cut the lead in half by the 4-minute mark with possession. They got it down to 7, which I would say is pretty good. That's a +5. And they have it down to 5. They just don't have possession of the ball. Now, they're still in very good position to make a run at this comeback, make a serious run at this comeback. They need a good stop here. That's not what I would qualify as a good stop. They're 3 possessions down. They need 2 twos, get a 3 in there somewhere. I don't think you really want to. There's McCray just saying, I'll take it right now. We'll knock that down to 4 with 3:14 remaining. They're kind of daring Crossley here to just go right up the middle. There are 2 guys just watching him. I believe that's Kevin Butts again with a nice hook shot. So 6 points with possession of the ball. 2:55 remaining. Pass to Bean. Bean, float pass over to McCray. McCray kind of working around, trying to dive inside somehow. He's going to take a little mid-range shot. Not great, but the UNLV player missed the rebound. It ended up being a block. And I think this, I would not be surprised, I shouldn't say I think, but I would not be surprised if this is as close as UNLV gets. A couple of missed shots from UNLV there. That's a little surprising. Usually they're pretty good about putting those offensive rebounds back in the hoop. It's a pass to Bean. He went for a big swat and missed. All of a sudden, this game is interesting. Butts to Hughes. Nice defense again, though. They can't get the rebound. They can't get the rebound. They can't get the loose ball. What are you doing, Texas Tech? So frustrating to watch. Just easy. Like, it's not, it's, you have such a good opportunity. Little rim rattler there. Just a loose ball on the floor. You have the manpower. And this little guy, Kevin Butts, is coming sliding on in and just swiping it away. Oh my goodness, again! A block and a loose ball, and they couldn't get it. UNLV again getting extra shots. Fortunately for Texas Tech, they missed. Wow. All right, 4-point game. McCray has been the hot hand here on the running, the Red Raiders, excuse me. Kevin Butts has been there's a nice recovery by Texas Tech. There's a foul. So Beans going to the line, 15 foul. Dave Sullivan picks up his first personal, and he just hucked that at the rim. That wasn't even, that they had no arc on it whatsoever. He'll go 1 for 2 from the line. Now the interesting thing is going to be, does Texas Tech foul immediately? They're only down 1 possession. You can burn 35 seconds off this clock. That sounds ridiculous, but you can do it because that still gives you a lot of time. They don't even care. They're going for it. Dickey's got the ball. He is going to be up and in with an incredible opportunity for a 3-point play. Oh my goodness. Somehow Texas Tech is in this game. I flabbergasted that this game is tied with 51 seconds to go. I was in the middle of figuring this thought out with, like, you can burn the clock down to 30 seconds. You're still fine. You're only down 1 possession. Worst case scenario, you're down, 5, 6, maybe? Best case scenario, you get them to burn the clock all the way down to 5 seconds, jack up a 3, and you're still only down 1 possession with a lot of time to go. That is a missed shot. McCray has the ball for Texas Tech. Maybe a little quick on the UNLV side of things. You got to try and slow the Red Raiders down a little bit. You can't just, don't you dare get a 5-second violation. Don't you dare. Locked up again. About a 4-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Again, pushes him off. McCray has the ball. 14. Time on the clock is at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The 3 from McCray is good. Oh my goodness. UNLV. Hughes off the rim, no good. The running Rebels led by 12 and couldn't win. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to write spell. I'm so flabbergasted. UNLV. UNLV blows a 12-point lead. That is a top 5 contender. My goodness. Wow. Again, I don't look at the stats, but I think sometimes it actually warrants it. Let's see, UNLV, I believe both teams struggled from the line. UNLV was 0 for 1 from 3-point, and Texas Tech was only 3 for 6. 9 of 17 is pretty bad. 11 of 15 is not great. Even if they both go 100%. Wow. Wow. Just, that's why you watch March Mascot Madness, huh? That's what you enjoy. I did not input the score. I believe it was 56-53, Texas Tech. Texas Tech wins regardless. That score might be actually incorrect, but I have to stop the video recording to to put that in. Actually, you know what? I'll do that. We'll hang out here first. No, I need to wrap this up. Texas Tech won. They absolutely won. 56-53. It's fine. It was a 3-point game. We have the gist of it. I get so distracted with my notes and the other things that I kind of forgot. Really quickly before we wrap up here, we're going to take a look at the first game of the next round, or the next part, excuse me, and that's going to be Colorado. Colorado, where are you? There you go. The Buffaloes taking on the Pirates of the Caribbean from East Tennessee State, the Buccaneers. That'll be in Tennessee. That'll be the first game tomorrow. Really quickly before we get out of here, let's get you caught up on the predictions, as we are now 1/8 of the way done. Matt's predictions leads with a score of 5. It's a guessing game. Had a strong second half with 4. I am also in second with 4, and the rest is at 3. So there you have it. We have 8 whole games of action for you tomorrow here on Twitch and actually on YouTube as well. I hope you enjoyed. I have a great time broadcasting these, streaming these, posting these, doing all the stuff. I think they're really fun and interesting and silly and goofy, and I love that people have been filling out brackets. It means a lot. If you win the bracket challenge, you get a free subscription to twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. If you like this kind of content, subscribe here on YouTube, ring that bell so you're probably notified when I post new videos. If you want to watch all this action happen live every Thursday and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex, you can watch the action unfold for March Mascot Madness, or stick around on YouTube, check them out every Saturday and Sunday. We'll catch you in the next one. We'll see ya. Go get a comeback. I don't know how to end this. Bye.